We talk to journalists who have been following the issues, and you don't want to miss that. Ibrahim Al-Hassan, Audu, and then Wilberforce Osari will be joining me on the show. There's a 4-year-old author. He will also be joining me on the show. Very interesting to know what a 4-year-old will put together. We'll be talking about that. And then a little later, the vetting continues. And so today we'll take you back live to Parliament, where the appointment committee continues to vet President Mahama's ministerial nominees. Remember, 42 persons have been nominated or appointed so far, awaiting ministerial parliamentary approval, I beg your pardon. And out of that 42, 6 have been sworn in. I told you yesterday another set of 6 were approved by Parliament, awaiting the swearing in by the President. And today we know that the Minister designate for the Interior, Muntaka Mubarak, who is also Member of Parliament for Obuasi in the Ashanti region, will be vetted today, among many others. When Ibrahim joins us, we'll get more details on that. And that's what we have on the show for you. We'll bring you our quote of the day, word of the day, video of the day, what's in the papers and whatnot. You're welcome, officially. I am Serwaa Amihere. Let's begin with our quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is by Camilla Erin Kimball, and it reads, "You do not find the happy life, you make it." You do not find the happy life, you have to make it. You know, they say that you have to lay your bed and then make your bed and then lay in it. So you don't find the happy life. Nobody comes, or walks around happy. You're going to have to make your life happy. You're going to have to make your day happy, and that is very important. So anytime you think that your happiness is dependent on someone, you've got to think twice again. Well, you know that every day we bring you a new word. On Fridays, we bring you a wrap of what we have brought you in terms of the word of the day from Monday up until Thursday. Here is a wrap of our words of the day, or of the week.
Here is a recap of the words we brought you this week. On Monday, we brought you vivacious. On Tuesday, we brought you inimitable. On Wednesday, we brought you acclimatize. And on Thursday, we brought you replete.
Right, so those are the words for the week. And please, you need to always learn a word or two. I keep telling you that. And let's bring you our video of the day. my director was just whispering something into my ears of what Amihere always says when he comes on stage, and it's if you have experienced Amihere's performance, he's a great, absolutely amazing performer, and then he gets into the mood where he starts calling Peter, and it's always so nice to see. So yeah, congratulations to Amihere on that song. It's a very good one. And that is our video of the day on Inside Out this morning, which is coming up. I'll open the phone lines and have you call and share your thoughts with me on the many things that have happened this week. The vetting and approval and swearing in of ministers. In fact, the announcement, the nominations, the appointments of President John Dramani Mahama. And there have been concerns raised about some of the CEO appointments that he's making. Some, they say, are young. Some are happy about it. Some are asking, is everything okay? What are the risks involved in appointing such young people? We know that Malik Basintale, who has been very famous on the show, is now going to be the acting CEO at the Youth Employment Agency. We know that Ediji Tamaklo is going to head NPA, and we know that Randy Abe is going to Cocoa Board, among other appointments. We will be discussing and getting into all of that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the president's charge to his ministers that he will not tolerate arrogance. And for many people, that is a good call because they believe that the outgone administration, suffered the fate that they did because of arrogance being part of the reasons why they lost the election. So the president was very clear. He said he will not tolerate arrogance and also charged his ministers to begin the processes to declare their assets. I have said that I don't see the point in going to declare your assets when I don't know what you're declaring, because 4 years later, if you come and tell me that what you have now, you have 10 V8s and you declared it, I won't know. And you too, you will never know. It's between the ministers or the appointees, the public office holders, and the Auditor General. We certainly need to do something about it. We'll talk about that. The vetting of ministerial appointees continues today. We'll discuss that as well. And then we will talk about the Obuasi killings. Unfortunately, there was a clash between the military and some illegal miners in Obuasi, and some lives have been lost. Yesterday as well, President John Dramani Mahama donated 1 million to the victims of the Kantamanto fire incident. So there's quite a lot of things to talk about, but I want to hear from you. Are you happy with the president's appointments so far? Well, many people are. It's time for Inside Out. Right, so on Inside Out, the phone lines are open. Please call me and share your thoughts with me. But just a few rules, not rules, but to make the conversation nice. Please reduce the volume on your TV set when you call. Also, let's be very, let's exercise some decorum when we call. No insults whatsoever. And please speak loudly and make it quick so that other people will get the opportunity to call as well. And so on your screens as well is the new, on the side, is the new leadership in Parliament for the NDC Majority Caucus. So Honorable Mahama Yariga, who is also Member of Parliament for Boko Central, is the Majority Leader now. Kweku George Ricketts Hagan, who is a former Deputy Finance Minister, is Deputy Majority Leader. Roxanne Nelson, the Fiamepo, is Majority Chief Whip. He is a Member of Parliament for South Dai. And, of course, there are women in there as well. Okay, we have Ala. Before then, I've got my very first caller on the line. Awal from Bimbila. Awal, good morning. Thank you so much for calling.
Good morning, Madam Serwaa.
Yes, Awal, let's hear you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. All that I want to say is that you made mention of how young some of the appointees from Mahama is.
Awal, you're going to have to reduce the volume on your TV set for me.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm away from the TV set. So what I was saying is that you spoke about how competent the people John Dramani Mahama appointed will be and how young they are. I don't think a competence has to do with how old you are. Considering what we saw during the Akufo-Addo regime, when he appointed people who had a lot of experience and head oaths, like Professor John Bafo, we could talk about Yao in school. But at the end of their first term and even the second term, there was nothing to write home about. I'm saying that the youthful exuberance these young people come with in their office, I think they will be able to do a lot because they know the modern trend and they can resonate their whatsoever with the youth. And they know that if they fail, the youth are not going to be happy with them because the youth are looking up to them to serve well so that they can get similar opportunities in the future. And I know these young people, you talk about Telesquato Fusu, you talk about Rangadi, you talk about Sami Jefi, who has been at the forefront. When you listen to Sami Jefi on set, you get to know that this guy is very good.
All right, well, thank you. It's time. And just by way of clarity, I never questioned the competence of these young appointees. I said that some are happy, some are asking what are the risks involved in appointing such young people. I never questioned their competence. And so please, just for the purposes of clarity, because these are people that I interact with all the time, especially on the show, and I'm happy that John Dramani Mahama believes in what they can do and appointing young people, right? We have another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let's hear you.
Good morning, Serwaa. This is Lance Corporal and now from the Central Prison.
Okay. Let's hear you.
I would like to share my thoughts on the newly appointed minister.
Please go ahead.
So far, so good. I think the appointment done by His Excellency the President Mahama is very good. Seeing the youthful exuberance pushing in it, and
I don't know if you have the words to say before we meet.
Right. Thank you so much, Lance Corporal. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Serwaa.
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
My name is Ali, calling from the Netherlands.
Ali, let's hear you.
Yes. In fact, we are so much happy with so far with the appointment of the ex-president. But we've not heard any complaints from any of us concerning the appointment. So, and to the youth, employers and appointing the youth into the government, I would rather explore them for future. So, in fact, we are so grateful for that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity like this.
Great. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm calling now, speaking from Zambia.
Okay. Let's hear you.
Your Mahama government was to give the youth opportunity to also participate in Ghana constitution. The leaders are old. They don't want to be given the opportunity to the younger guys. And that's why we also attend this to get this opportunity. So they give us chance. They get chance to work and support the country. They're supposed to give the youth chance to also get opportunities to perform their duties for the Ghana. We thank God for having the Mahama to come and appoint this youth. So we are heading towards to the successful government. I beg your pardon. I want to use this opportunity to report certain things to you in Tamale. The assembly, they have been doing certain things to tricycle operators. With no assembly has started working. We don't have a mayor yet. But they are still selling the assembly tickets for tricycle. So we don't know the one who is behind this issue. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
All right, thank you so much for calling. I'll take a few more calls before I wrap up the segment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let's hear you.
My name is Amihere. I'm calling from Amihere.
All right.
What is on my mind is that the minister should make sure that various state institutions work where they are going to head. For example, when you go to the local, the municipal and the district assemblies, could you believe someone can take it back, go and sit there for 8 hours, not having anything to do? And these are the energies that we are just wasting. And again, they should also try to mindset change. In fact, there's no discipline in Ghana. So leadership is about instilling this, living by discipline themselves, so living by discipline. How do you expect someone to work for 9 o'clock when the leader, him or her, is coming around 11 o'clock? So I think they have to just start doing something. And my last thing is about our rent. I think rent can help generate a lot of employment for the youth. Let's assuming that communities with over 20,000, 30,000 population are given a unit, an office, which is strengthening the already existing rent control offices in those areas. And then you allow some of the youth to go and then mind those areas. Whenever they give out rent, they take a token from them. Because, mind you, it's not only about the payment. We normally have issues with the landlords, tenants, and that stuff. That's the best place, ideal place to go and then resolve those things. And thanks to the president for taking the information service of the ministry and sending it to the presidency. He has promised to mechanize or made it modern and make it very good. I think we don't need politicians on radio and TV to come and give us information because we don't trust them. When the MPP person is speaking, I know that he's in the interest of his or her party. He seems to the NDC. But when there is information service person that I pay with my tax, I believe that the person is coming with authentic source and he has the country at heart. So these are what is on my mind. I think leadership should start doing these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. I'll take my final caller, then we can wrap up the segment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, finally, a woman. Good morning. Thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Kukwa calling from Facebook.
Oh, Kukwa, good to hear from you. Happy New Year.
Many happy return.
Kukwa, let me hear you.
Yeah. We are happy to hear these nominations. Okay. We cannot say much because we know in the president's will, he says these people can do the work. We are giving them our support. But one thing I would like to see is that we want to see some moves and that's being set. You know, we don't want it to be like they say business as usual. The president said he will appoint 60 ministers. Fine, he's keeping to that. That is very good. We want to see some sort of paradigm shift in governance. We want to see some new standards being set by these people who are appointed into office. Let us see a new Ghana in the work that they are going to do in the next 4 years. That's my prayer. We give them our support and we wish them well. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Kukwa. So grateful for the call. Unfortunately, that's all I'm able to take this morning because of time. But thank you. We'll continue the conversation when the guests join me. That's it for Inside Out. Let's do the newspapers. The Daily Graphic, Agbogloshi, reclaimed land under siege, scrap dealers, onion sellers occupy 80-acre land. Parliament approves 6 more ministerial nominees. We brought you that earlier. And Minister pledges reforms to tackle illegal fishing. And that is the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, who has just been approved by Parliament. Mahama takes over as Majority Leader, and he's also Member of Parliament for Boko Central. So yeah, he told you that the NDC majority has got a new leadership in Parliament, because the then Majority Leader is now Finance Minister. Right. Okay, so that's it for the Daily Graphic. The Chronicle newspaper: Ochehene orders removal of excavators along Broom River. Teenager surprises prosecutors. My lord, I lied to my boyfriend that I was 19 years. After being acquitted and discharged for coup plot, the sad story of Colonel Kojo Gamali, denied compensation and forced to retire from the army. You can take a look at it. And today's Bible verse in the Chronicle newspaper is from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 2. And that we may be delivered from wicked and evil men, for not all have faith. So that's it for the Chronicle newspaper. The Daily Dispatch: 43% of Mahama's current nominees served in his government from 2012 to 2016. Anthony Sapong is new GRA boss. We will work together and beautify democracy. Apenyu marking to new leaders in Parliament. Right. Let's move on to the new weekend crusading guide. Asenso Boakye spikes government on post-election violence. Check envoy delegation call on Kede Chief and Kwewu Edwamwak town folks agog for Rempenhene over construction of new palace. Okoboy denies theft allegation in viral video, and first day in office, Finance Minister visits key agencies. Spiritual influences cost our loss. That's according to the General Secretary of the NPP. All right. The Daily Satellite newspaper: where are the women ministers? NGO questions President Mahama. Really? The ultimate is that we have a vice president who is a woman, and just the ministers that are being approved by Parliament, 4 of them are women. And so I think that the president is not doing bad at all when it comes to the female representation in his government. I mean, on GHOne and the EIB network, we brought you a representation percentage-wise of how many women have been appointed so far in this administration. And at the last count, because mind you, they are going to be deputy ministers as well who will be nominated, and at the last count the president wasn't doing bad at all. So yes, I don't know the basis for this question. Okay, let's move on to former president, still on the Daily Satellite. Former President Kufuor consoles Reverend Wengam. GJA clash with Mahama over information ministry. Well, now we know that there isn't an information ministry, but there is. Some say you find it's at the presidency, and that is what Felix Kwatiofosu will be doing in this government, right? Okay, so that is it for the newspapers. Enjoy this one from King Paluta. When we come back, we have sports. And that is Kim Paluta with Makoma. I totally love that song so much. I performed it once. It's a very beautiful song. This is a new video I'm seeing for the first time. I don't know which is which, if this is the main video or what I saw then is the main video. But anywho, as they say, they're both lovely because it's a very nice song. And this is the song that we have been listening to so much at the NPP one, you know. Unfortunately, they won't play it and they won't dance to it, and they'll be very, very unhappy when they hear the song. But yeah, it's time for sports chat, and Joel is here with all of that. Joel, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Serwaa.
What have you got for us?
Yes, so the Swag Awards is today. The
it's tonight.
It's tonight. Just to honor a few personalities, and also we've got the Journalist of the Year.
The sports journalist
of the year, right. Which is going to be
last year was it was Gary
Smith,
right?
Yeah, Gary Smith won. No, last 2 years, and then last year was Muftau Nabila. Okay. He's also of multimedia.
Okay.
So I mean, I think this year, Janet Amankwa, formerly of TV3, and a few of them are gunning for the Sports Journalist of the Year Awards. Yeah, so the Sports Journalist of the Year Awards, and yesterday the Ghana League Clubs Association also had a new chairman. So that's what is in the news, and unfortunately also not too good news with regards to the Europa for the likes of Manchester United and the rest. So we'll be giving all the updates here on the sports segment here on the morning show, right? So we first off start with the Galka Awards.
Before then.
All right, so we start with our very first story, and it has to do with the Ghana League Clubs Association. That's GHOne, the GHOne Awards. Actually, the GHOne, okay, it was actually the voting. They voted yesterday to get a new. GHOne is the Ghana League Clubs Association.
Okay.
So yesterday there was an election held at the Ghana League Clubs Association, and they had to come up with a new leadership. For GHOne. You know, GHOne plays a key role when it comes to the various clubs in Ghana, and they have to get a new front because, I mean, looking at how the league has gone so far, and every year, obviously, they need to go for elections and then get a new leader. So this time around, it was between Kumsin and then, unfortunately, most people were gunning for him to win that particular GHOne top one, but he lost there, and unfortunately for him, it didn't really go well yesterday when they had the GHOne Awards at their head office. So the GHOne Awards, John Ansa beat Isaac Kumsin to it. Unfortunately for Isaac Kumsin, many were gunning that he should have come up tops to win the GHOne top position. So that's how it panned out. There you see him, Isaac Ansa, John Ansa, who is the next GHOne president. All right, let's now do the Sports Writers Association of Ghana. The SWAG Awards is coming up later tonight. Well, so the Sports Writers Association of Ghana SWAG Awards is coming up later tonight, and obviously the special guest of honor is going to be His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He's going to grace the occasion, and he will be giving the awards to the best personality of the year, or the sports personality of the year. That's the top gong when it comes to awarding sports personalities in the country. Well, so this for us, Serwaa, is big because, I mean, this is ours also. We don't have any awards apart from this one, which is quite big when it comes to the sports fraternity. This is the Sports Writers Association Awards. There are other sports, awards like the football awards and what have you, but this is the topmost awards, and we're having it tonight at the Accra International Conference Center. So it promises to be quite an interesting one. We'll be joined on the phone lines. We'll be speaking with the Deputy Secretary General of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, Kennedy Adade, just to find out how preparations have gone so far ahead of the SWAG Awards later this evening. Well, so we'll try reach Ken to find out how things have gone so far. Preparations towards the Swag Awards that is coming up later tonight at the Accra International Conference Center. All right, so we'll try to reach him, but then let's move on to our very next story that has to do away from the Swag Awards. Let's now do something in the English Premier League, because when it comes to transfers, Jerry Afriyie is being transferred. Jerry Afriyie is one of the players locally who is making waves, actually. Yeah, Jerry Afriyie is moving to Saudi Arabia. He is joining the club there in Saudi Arabia. Al Qadsi, they call it. It's a mouthful, but they definitely are going to be giving him some good money. And he's also, he left a Division 2 side here, and Jerry has really performed when it comes to the year under review. He even did stand in for the Black Stars when they played against Niger here, and it was he got the only goal for Ghana when we played Niger here at Accra. When most of the players said they were not well. About 8 Ghanaian players couldn't feature, and the international stars couldn't feature. He was the one who Coach Otuado ran onto the pitch to go and give him a kiss in that particular game. Yeah, so Jerry Afriyie has been transferred, and is a big one. He's, one of the players we should be looking out for when it comes to our striking proficiency here in the country. Getting a lot of goals for the under-20 side, the Black Satellites, and then he is now moved from Ghana to Saudi Arabia. All right, so we've gotten Ken Odeng-Adade on the phone lines now. Hello, Ken. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, thanks so much for joining us here on the morning show. We just want to find out from you how preparations are for tonight. Is everything in place? As the president confirmed, he's coming to give the award to the top most personality or sports personality of the year.
Yeah, okay. Good morning. Thank you for the show. Yes, for advance, that is almost ready. We then started yesterday afternoon about yes, will be in attendance for our event. We are making sure we put up a very good show for him. Everything is set. Our nominees are getting ready to join us this evening. Our award winners are all ready. Our patrons and our guests and everyone is on standby, just waiting for the start time to shoot into the conference center to have a good show this evening. So I would say yes, Swag is ready to have it for tonight's award. And as you know, this is the longest running awards in the country. We've done this thing for 49 years without any break. And we are hoping to make this one big so we can use it as a stepping stone for our 50th event. So yes, if you ask me, we are very ready for this evening.
Looking at the response from most of the nominees, are we going to see most of them present to receive the awards? Or, obviously, the way sometimes it goes, there are going to be people to stand in for them?
I would say most of the award winners will be there. Unfortunately, because of the season, it is only our foreign-based footballers who would not be able to touch down for the event. Aside that, almost everybody will be present to receive their award.
All right. Okay, Ken, so what should we look at differently this year? The 49th edition, what should we expect this evening?
So as a novelty, we've introduced the student athlete of the year, which primarily is to encourage young athletes who are doing well in sports in school. So that is also a novelty. And then we have a lot of surprises that will be coming up. We know Pamir will be performing. He has confirmed his coming and everything is in place. He has been rehearsing for a while now. And then we have more surprises up our sleeves. All I will entreat everyone is to get in touch with us for a free invite to attend this show this evening.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Ken. Definitely we'll catch up with you this evening for the Sports Writers Association Awards. Thanks for your time early this morning. And also, we wish you all the best, though we'll be there to support as well. All right, so we've been speaking with Ken Odeng Adade. He's the Deputy Secretary General of SWAG Serwaa, and there's a new category actually that SWAG came up with, that's to encourage students in there. And so the awards is not just for those who are participating in sports full time, but also those in schools who have an interest
exactly
who got an interest in sports. All right, so let's now turn our attention away from the local front, do something on the English Premier League games that are coming up later this weekend. We've got interesting fixtures that are coming up later this weekend. Tomorrow we've got a fixture coming up. Bournemouth will come up against Nottingham Forest. We're seeing Antoine Semenyo in there for his side. Bournemouth, they are playing at 3 p.m. Brighton Hove and Albion will be at home against Everton, whilst league leaders Liverpool also lock horns with Ipswich. Southampton will welcome Newcastle to their home. Wolverhampton Wanderers will also be settling scores with Arsenal, whilst Manchester City will be playing against Chelsea in there. And your friend I'm speaking with, Bournemouth Semenyo, he will be in action for Bournemouth tomorrow. I'm just expecting a goal from him. There was an assist from him last weekend in their Premier League game. So on Sunday, Crystal Palace comes up against Brentford. Spurs will be squaring it off with Leicester City, whilst Aston Villa will be at the Villa City. They welcome West Ham, Mohamed Kudus' side. Kudus seems to be, I think after Lopetegui left, there's a new wave, and it seems Kudus is getting his mojo back, and for me it's a good sign. Probably many were saying under Lopetegui it didn't really go well, because most of it, the way he came in, and the first thing was that Kudus was not a team player, and that was what started affecting him. That's what the trajectory has been. So when he left and the new coach came in, we've now seen a few improvements from Mohamed Kudus, and it's good for Ghana going into the World Cup qualifiers in March, and it's good for him also to boost his morale in the English Premier League, because we see how he performs and all that. And Manchester City is going away to Fulham this weekend. What's your prediction? Manchester United, sorry. Yeah, Manchester United.
Okay, so when the team is on the right, it means they're going away to the stadium of the ones to the left.
Exactly.
Well, anything Manchester United, I want them to win. So
let's see how that goes for Manchester United in that one. That's how the table. Yeah, that's how the league table looks
Liverpool,
like.
Wow.
Yeah, Liverpool are top. They are flying. It looks home and dry for them already.
So
50 points.
Where is Manchester United?
Manchester United is not around here. They are around 12, 13 that way. Yeah, they are on the other side. But then they are not, relegation threatened though. So we wouldn't want to say it's all gone for Manchester United. Let's see how Amorim keeps them in there for next season. But Liverpool are 50 points after 21 games. Remember, and they have an outstanding game also against Everton. So should they win that game, it sends them 53 points, and already they are playing this weekend as well. And so it looks
that's a very comfortable league.
Yeah, and Arsenal are second place with 44 points apiece with Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea are fourth. They've got 40 points. Manchester City are lying fifth place. Good for them also. They are top 5. And then Newcastle United, they are placed 6th in the English Premier League. So this is the top 6 for the English Premier League there, and those clubs that are performing well. And to the transfer market, a lot of players are being transferred this particular window. So we've got Mamouche. This player scored Black Stars at the AFCON. He came in when Egypt played Ghana, and then he got the winning goal for the Egyptian side. Mamouche, he's been transferred from Bundesliga Frankfurt, and he's now moved to Manchester City. So 3 players have been transferred to Manchester City so far. Omar Mamouche has been transferred from Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga in Germany. He's now moved to England. Well, so he's not the only player. Let's check out the next player who is also signed for Manchester City. Victor Reis. Victor Reis also joins Manchester City from Palmeiras, and he joins them for a 4.5-year deal. So he's just 19-year-old, very young looking, like our very own, who's also signed to join the Saudi side. I'm talking about Jerry Frié. So Victor is also joined Manchester City. So these are the players who join in Manchester City for the rest of the season? Can they bring up anything new for Pep Guardiola? You know Pep Guardiola's issue already, and what he's going through with the divorce, which is sort of affecting him in a way. But the players seems to be playing to a tune of he redirecting his focus away from that, because it could take his attention away anyway, and it could affect him psychologically. So the players seems to be playing for him, but we pray the center holds well for him so he can lead them to probably placing in, you know, they are in top 5 of the Premier League already, so it's good for the Premier League, but not too good when it comes to the UEFA Champions League for Pep Guardiola and his side. Yeah, so that's all for sports here on Sports Chat on the morning show, Serwaa.
Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you so much. Joel Champon is the head of sports at the EIB Network, bringing us all you need to know when it comes to sports. Stay with us. After the break, we will get into the conversation. This is GH Today. Mahama is the managing editor for Custodian newspaper. Audu, good morning.
Good morning.
I really like your outfit. I wish the viewers could see the blinks in it.
Yeah, thank you.
Life is good for you, you know.
It is.
And to think about it, where it was made.
Yeah, I'm sure it was made in Dubai or Saudi Arabia.
It's made in Sabon Zongo here.
Sabon Zongo.
My base.
Really?
I'm a Zongo boy. I live at Sabon Zongo. Kaneshi, just around Kolebu. That's my base.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the guy is good.
Give your designer shout out then.
Yeah, yeah. Who is your the producer says give your designer shout outs.
What's his name?
What is his name? Umar.
You don't know how to give shout outs. You are doing
Umar.
Okay.
Umar.
Yes.
Okay,
He's
thank
called
you,
Umar.
Umar. It's
I will
a
let
very
him
beautiful
do
outfit.
a dress for me.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's right.
Just as me, I don't like the bling bling.
Oh,
Don't
the
worry.
bling is nice. It's subtle.
Anytime.
And because of the color. Please, I want to order some for IB as well.
You know,
Great.
Muslims, we don't do.
I'll do.
We are
I'm
making
ordering
business.
some
We are getting
for. I'm
business
ordering some for IB.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
So
great.
we'll get
Yes,
in touch.
only IB.
I'll tell you. And if I tell you the price, you marvel.
Really?
It's very low.
It's affordable,
It's very, very affordable.
Please, I want to order some for. some for
I'll
IB.
tell him today, just
Yeah.
after the program.
Yeah, next week he has to wear his
I
conditioner.
may take IB there.
Yeah, for his measurement.
Measurement.
Okay. Ibrahim Al Hassan is the producer for the show, and he's also the organizing secretary for the Parliamentary Press Corps. You're all welcome to the show. I'm happy to see all of you. Happy New Year once again. If we haven't met, no, we have. We have certainly. All right. So today we're talking about the ministerial appointments, the vetting, the approval, the subsequent swearing in. Is that what it is? Those who are being sworn in by the
Six.
yeah, it's swearing in, right?
Swearing.
Right. So 6 of them have been sworn in so far: finance, AG, energy, education, agriculture, roads and highways was sworn in earlier this week. Yesterday, Parliament approved another batch of 6. We don't know when they will be sworn in, maybe today or next week. But so far, today, right? So far, President John Dramani Mahama has appointed 42 ministers. He promised to appoint only 60 ministers. 42 ministers so far, including regional ministers, 16. I was thinking that there was going to be some kind of merger, to make way for more ministerial appointments, but that's what it is. It is what it is. Ministers. So far, 42 ministers, I beg your pardon. Out of the 42, 18 are men and 7 are women. Remember,
out of the 42,
yes,
18 and 7. That doesn't add up to
25. Sorry, I'm sorry, 25. 25.
It still doesn't add up.
No.
How many women we can
So
get
the sorry, forgive me.
So there are
giving you the wrong
substantive
figure.
ministers and there are regional ministers.
Yeah. They are all ministers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
but there's only one lady regional minister.
IB sent me this thing. Let me quickly get it. So sorry, it's 35. I beg your pardon. I'm very sorry. It doesn't add up. So 35 are men and 7. The women still remain 7.
Okay.
So 35 and 7.
Yes.
Now remember, the president, when he was campaigning, said that he was going to appoint 30% of his his ministers or cabinet to be women. As it stands, we just have about 16% or so, and so there's still a long way to go. There are deputy ministers to be appointed or nominated. That hasn't happened yet, but we have 42 so far, so about 18 more to go.
Yeah.
Now, out of that 18, for the president to be able to meet the 30% mark, he will need about
11 thereabout.
yes, he will need about 11.
It won't happen.
So he needs 11 to be able to make the 30% mark.
It won't happen. Forget it.
Okay, I am just giving information as to whether it will happen or not. I don't know.
I'm saying it will not
I'm
happen.
saying that this is what we know so far. Because this morning when I was reviewing the newspapers, I saw an NGO asking the president where the female ministers are. And so I'm giving information on what the statistics are. Let's await the deputy ministerial nominations and see how many more women. Let me finish. How many more women make the list? Okay. And then there are also appointments to various organizations and institutions. There's Malik Basintale, who is going to YEA. There's Sami JP, PMMC. There is Randy Abe, Cocoa Board. There are quite a number of them, and the president is supposed to make about almost 5,000 appointments. I won't be able to say all, but the ones that come to mind and are very popular, we'll bring them to you. So I'm going to start with you, Awudu. Have you been happy with the nominations so far, the vetting? Happy?
But if I'm not happy, what can I do?
You can't do anything, but as a citizen, are you happy?
President has decided that, let me say good morning to the viewers for coming on the show. I have nothing to say.
Okay, if you have nothing to say.
What I want to wait. I want to say that I have no opinion on this matter in terms of whether I'm satisfied with them or not. The president has chosen people he thinks he can work with. He has a mandate. And these are the people he believes they are good for him to achieve that social contract he has with Ghanaians. I am okay with the nominees. The last time I was here, we mentioned some few, like Dr. Yene, Haruna, who then was not nominated. But everybody knows him, his caliber. John Jinapo has been a deputy minister at the ministry before. Finance minister has been there before as a deputy minister. It appears that a lot of the deputy ministers are now substantive ministers. Where they are going. Dr. Ayeni himself was a deputy minister at that place. So I think all in all, so far, the president appeared to be appointing people who probably worked for him closer whilst in opposition. There are a lot more to be appointed, and I assure them they will be disappointed because they will not be appointed. There are a lot of big guys who are still at the sidelines waiting, but they will be disappointed because the positions are not enough to go around. As you said, they are only 18. As for the female thing you mentioned, just forget it. You will not achieve the 30%. I was going to ask whether the 30% was about appointment in general. If it is ministerial, he won't get it. Look,
no,
out of
this
the
is
18,
what he said. I want to quote him.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I offer you a social contract with the NDC. With the NDC, I shall lead. Within the first 14 days of my presidency, I will nominate my cabinets, 30% of whom will be women.
Okay.
So cabinets. And of course, I mean, speaking of cabinets, it still may not work because,
in fact,
so far, out of the 7, just about 4 will make cabinets.
It is assumed.
Cabinet is 19,
It
exactly.
is assumed that when, cabinet, many of these ministers, they are not cabinet ministers, but they all attend cabinet meetings.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that is substantive ministers. Even the substantive minister is not going to be possible. With the 18 that is left, if 11 should go to only women in NDC, there will be chaos. There will be total chaos. Already there's chaos everywhere with this appointment. Oh, you are not hearing. There's chaos everywhere. To 11, the 30% will not be fulfilled at all. That promise is dead.
But it doesn't take away the fact that the president has done well in terms of the female representation. I mean, the highest of it will be the vice president that we have, who is a woman, no?
Oh, you see, you sometimes you cause me a lot of pain. You are talking of, you said cabinet minister. The man said cabinet. He didn't say vice president. He had a running mate when he promised that his cabinet will be. So are you adding the vice president to the appointments? We are talking about appointees. Vice president was elected with him, so she is out. We are talking of ministers who were appointed, and therefore I am telling you that at this material moment, that promise is dead because it is not going to happen. If it happens, Serwaa will come and do something for you on this show. Because I'm telling you that if it happens, there will be total chaos. Already the 18 that are left, there are a lot of guys in parliament. The man has a super majority in parliament. And constitution says that more than half should be members of parliament. Now, how many women are in parliament and how many are left? How many positions are left? And therefore, are you going to take all the women in parliament, or at least majority in parliament, and take some outside parliament? That will not happen. So let me go back to the nominees. So as I was saying, all the people are okay, except one nominee that I'm not comfortable with. If he changes his ways, I will say it bluntly, the Foreign Affairs Minister nominee, designate. Look.
What about him?
There's somebody, he's chairing oral now, and almost everything is on social media. You are going to be meeting with diplomats, and are you going to be sharing our information on social media all the time? Any information that this guy gets is on social media, is on Facebook.
Are you sure? I mean, we know Okudzeto Ablaka from when before he started chairing oral, but the information that oral has received, is he putting them on social media, or is the meeting?
You don't know that he has put some out. You don't know
which ones.
He has his own NIB. What's the name? NIB Director General has bought a land somewhere at the cost. He put all the figures out. He actually did the presentation.
What else?
Well, I am saying that this man, he has penchant for putting things on social media, very serious things where investigations have not been concluded. He puts such things. Look, foreign affairs is not. We have had people, serious diplomats who have been in that ministry. Look at people like Victor Beho. You have Obeda Samwa. You have how do you call it? Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo. You've had Hakma Usu Ajiman, one time who has been there. You've had Oseje. You've had Hannah Tete. There's somebody. Look, even if you don't like the lady she speaks, you know this is somebody so very good. And these are the people who have occupied that position. And you are bringing the social media, this thing, how do you call it, freak, to be our foreign affairs minister.
He's a social media freak.
I am saying that. I've used the word. If you may take it out.
I'm not against it. I'm just asking you.
Yes.
Okay.
I am saying that.
So that makes him.
No, I am saying that if he changes his way. No, I've not said that. I am not talking about his competence.
Okay.
I am talking about his conduct, his behavior. Okay. You don't take that to say foreign affairs ministry. So that if there's any information you want Ghanaians to know, where you want Ghanaians to know is your Facebook or social media. That's not how you handle information. I was not here when people did oral, but when you finish with this, I want to have a bite of, if you give me 5 minutes on oral, because you mentioned it, I'll have a small bite on it.
I have not brought up oral.
No, because I said that he posted things on, and he posted things on social media, and you brought oral. So I want to have a bite on that too. But having said that, I think that things are moving on well for President Mahama with his nominees. The Parliament is cooperating, and things appear to be moving very fast with the. And I'm hoping that the 6 that have been approved, that were approved yesterday, will also be sworn in today, and the number will be 12. So the government will be formed early, so that the promises that he has made with the Ghanaian people will be fulfilled. I am looking out to have a better life under President John Dramani Mahama. We all said that previous life was difficult. We agreed, and we thought that I have a candidate who I thought was better candidate to solve the Ghanaian problems of the people. But Ghanaians have said otherwise. So let's see what the president will do, and the only way we can support him to do that is to get his ministers in office. If the ministers are in office, all the appointees are there, then we have a headway to go. In terms of the other CEO, chief executives, look, you have Ghana, this man going to GNPC. What's his name?
Edward
Bauer. Brilliant guy. I like him. He's sharp. He knows the area. He's been communications director for Ministry of Energy for some time in his previous life. He's been a member of the Energy Committee in Parliament for 8 years. he knows. He's knowledgeable in the area, so I have no problem. I as I said, I like him. I like some brilliant guys who do their work with passion. You go to MPA. MPA is another young guy. He has NDC's legal director of legal affairs. He is also a sharp guy. He's Wilberforce's friend. They've been meeting in court, and he's also a sharp guy. So that he's very political. But why? We are in a political world, so there's no problem with that. Boss, I don't know the boss nominee. Which about what's the name? Randy is going to Cocoa Board. He's our own colleague. I hope and he's also a competent guy. We all know him, but I hope he doesn't have issues with the NDC hotheads. They see him as an outsider, but he's very close to the first family and also the brother. He has been an ally of Ibrahim Mahama for many years, even under Kufuor's administration. So with such appointments, I have no problem with that. I just hope that the issues at the Cocoa Board will be able to handle them. There are issues. There are a lot of issues at the Cocoa Board. I hope that he will be able to handle them without distractions from the NDC hotheads. Which one again? Which appointment? You have mentioned Basintele and youth. It appears that the communications out directorate, they are getting some appointments. Sami Jefi, his boss, has got PP and PMMC CEO. I hear he will transit into gold something.
Good board.
Gold board. Okay. And so he is good. Basintele, he probably got what he worked for. He was all over the place, and even to the extent that he did things that I think that as a very young man, if you want to have some political future, you should not be saying certain things. You should not be putting yourself in certain things. But as I said, whom am I? To me, we always say. So I wish him good luck. And you've already heard what is coming up from their own quarters. It appears that the youth wing, there's communication director and there's also youth wing. And there are issues coming out of these. So I know you know from these appointments.
I do not know. What are the issues?
From these appointments, I'm hearing that the person who is going to be in charge of youth development, what's that ministry?
Pablo. Youth empowerment and
empowerment. And I heard he said the youth, that outfit was going to be under the youth.
Yes, it's under the new ministry.
The youth.
Yeah.
But he was thinking that his people, those who are in the youth wing, should be going to that outfit. They should also be rewarded because the youth wing, they work hard. So there are those issues coming up. Or rather giving the communications directorate. So, Serwaa, in short, in a nutshell, this is the brief I have. Listen, I have the nominations. I wish all of them well. I wish everybody, including the person I said he's so much in love with social media. I said I am not talking about his competence. I am talking about his conduct. And I hope that if he changes, it will be better for him and Ghana as a country. If he doesn't, Serwaa, you come here and tell us, I will do. If he continues this way, you will get complaints. So I just hope that God will let him change.
Wilberforce.
Well, so I think it is good that the president is able to nominate his cabinet within this space of time. He's been in office from 7th January. Today is 24th. That means that we are talking about how many? We're talking about a little over 2 weeks.
Yes, 16, 17.
Yeah. So that is good to know that the cabinet is taking shape. because we need them in
Today
place.
The 17th day.
The 7th day. We need them in place to start work.
No, Wilberforce, hold on. Hold your thoughts. Hold it. Wilberforce.
Okay. Somebody said I should tell Awudu that Honorable Bauer lost his parliamentary seat due to being perceived as arrogant.
Is that so?
As for arrogance, me sitting here, some people think I am arrogant. That arrogance.
That's Maxwell watching.
No.
And then he says, tell Serwaa to whisper to the president's ear to appoint the Bolgatanga Central, who was a serious critic of Dr. Bawumia day in and day out. So who is Bolgatanga Central?
That's the one who called Dr. Bawumia Wale
Adam Smith.
Yes, Adam Smith. Yes.
Oh, you don't know my friend? I don't know.
He's not going to finance.
Probably. Maybe he'll be deputy finance. Yeah, maybe
he did a lot about finance stuff.
Yes.
He was the one who was put forward to challenge Dr. Bawumia when it comes to finance matters in the country.
Let's see what happens.
So he has solutions.
Probably. There's still some appointments to go.
There are only 18 left.
All right. So
and the people in Parliament, there are over 100 though.
Yes, but you see, so someone just sent me something that we probably may have taken our eyes off.
Okay.
And he said that the constitutional requirements of majority of ministers coming from Parliament in Article 78(1) is about ministers of states and not deputy ministers. So, no?
They've never worked with that. No. Deputy ministers are counted as.
They are counted.
Yeah.
So Article 79 of the Constitution says that the president shall, in consultation with ministers, appoint deputy ministers.
Yes.
So the president actually can only, technically speaking, can only announce deputy ministers when substantive ministers are in place, because he has to consult.
So the majority of ministers are ministers, not deputy. It does not include deputy ministers.
But ministers and deputy ministers are all considered as ministers.
Okay.
Yeah. So and that is one of the things I'm going to talk about. That the framers of our 1992 Constitution.
Because you mentioned, you said someone sent me a message. I was going to ask. You know, the president said he was going to nominate all his ministers within 2 weeks. Does it?
He used cabinet.
He used cabinet.
Yes.
Oh, then that's fine.
As for cabinet,
then he has done.
Not all minutes. But you see,
he has done that.
You see,
he has.
The thing about it is that, see, the 1992 Constitution, as we all see it, put a cap when it comes to the number of cabinet ministers.
Yes.
Said 19
maximum, yeah.
And then the president and the vice president included, making it 21. But the same framers of the Constitution put there that the president shall appoint any other ministers as he deems fit. And I think that the framers of the Constitution had in mind the fact that this country will grow and expand beyond where it was when they were framing the 1992 Constitution some 32 years ago.
Sure.
So, going forward, I think that this cap that we are putting on ourselves, as it were, for political gain, by saying that we will appoint this X number of ministers, this lower number of ministers.
When you have not come into power.
When you are not in office, you haven't seen the issues and all those kind of things. I think it's actually a disservice to the country. And we need to get to the people of Ghana to understand that if you appoint 80 ministers, it's not because you want job for people or job for the boys, but the kind of economy we are talking about, where we want to go, we will have to get people in various spaces to speed up the process of national development. But when we try to cap and to coil and to say we want to reduce it so that the people will be happy at the expense of the impact that it will have on governance and the ability to deliver the kind of Ghana that we want, I have a problem with it.
So then how would Dr. Bawumia have worked with 15 ministers?
Exactly. And if he had won the elections, appointing 50 ministers, what it means is that he would have appointed a cabinet and deputy ministers for the cabinet, and probably that will be all. Or will not have appointed deputy ministers at all.
Probably many of the ministries.
Do you get it?
But does it also, I mean, referring to your earlier points, that without taking recognition or cognizance of the governance structure or issues. How do you also, the only reason why people complaining about the number of ministers is the drain on the national purse, right?
Okay.
How then do you explain some of the past ministries we've had and the number of deputies, some of the ministries that existed that many believe that we didn't need such ministries and could have been merged?
Okay.
For instance, we had a whole ministry for special initiatives.
It's back.
I am not talking about now. What's the role of that ministry then, and what they were doing, championing, were things that could have been done by any other ministry, even the Ministry for Local Government.
Okay.
The Ministry of Information alone had about 3 deputies when the ministry, Nanado first came into power. That's certainly a drain on the national purse.
So let me explain.
Don't you agree?
So let me explain something. So for example, if you take a ministry like
they're creating employment.
If you take a ministry,
he said it's not job for the boys. You are saying it's job for the boys.
No, it's not job for the boys.
But it's employment.
Yes,
isn't employment
job for the boys?
Okay.
But you
so
see,
when you are employed, it's job for boys.
What I'm trying to say is that the country is a continuum, and because we are a continuum, things come up. So for example, at the finance ministry, we have become so engaged with the global situation such that if you have one deputy finance minister and one substantive finance minister, you are dealing with all kinds of things. You are dealing with all these Bretton Woods institutions. You are dealing with nations. When I talk about nations, I'm talking about when you are dealing with EU and dealing with the Americas, the portfolio is become big, and the truth of the matter is that 1 and 2 persons are not sufficient to be able to do things effectively. So the suggestion I'm just making is just that, look, the framers of our constitution did us a good service. The good service they did for us is that whereas they put a cap as to minimum, they decided not to put a cap as to maximum. It's just like appointment of justices to the Supreme Court. They put a cap at minimum, but they didn't put a cap at maximum.
Because they expected the appointing authority to exercise some discretion.
Discretion, yes, I agree. But it is the discretion that they will exercise is based on the exigencies of the matter. Because of the kind of...
Is that the case? Is it not because they want to, like he said, create employment for persons who are being loyal to the party?
No.
Is that not what it always seems like?
No. So employment creation in itself is not bad. If we create employment,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Not to that extent. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, but I'm just saying that if we use that phrase, creation of employment, if we had the room, if we have the room to create that employment, and a Ghanaian will get employed and live a decent life, I don't have a problem with it. Do you understand? But the concerns I have is when we seem to be imposing on ourselves something that is restricting us. Look, as it stands today, Mr. Mahama can, for the 42 that we have, and with the 16 line he has drawn, with his 19-member cabinet, if he's going to appoint deputy ministers, there will be one cabinet position that will not have a deputy minister. That is for him to meet the 60 requirement. We are left with 18. There are 19 cabinet ministers. Slots. So if he's appointing 18 substantive deputy ministers, there will be one cabinet ministry that will not have a deputy.
No problem.
You understand? And
right.
I'm looking at the cabinet positions: education, food and agriculture, defense, interior,
trade and industry,
foreign affairs, all attending
trade there.
Trade, and all. Which one?
Foreign affairs.
Which one will survive? Like
we don't need deputy for foreign affairs.
But I'm only saying that we don't need to.
So
we don't need to put ourselves in that stress. I don't know whether I'm communicating properly.
You are making sense.
Stress ourselves that much.
But it's part of it is what the Ghanaian people want. And it's part of the reasons he was voted into power.
I understand, but I'm only saying that.
And why can't it be done? If other people have done it,
we have to go back to the same Ghanaian people and tell them that appointing people to serve in those positions is for the good of the country, and not because the president wants to create jobs for his boys or wants to create jobs for people. No, because I'm thinking, okay, so the 19 cabinet positions, even the president has a deputy. The president himself has a deputy. So which of the cabinet positions that the president has is going to go without a deputy?
If and he says that if there's a cabinet position without a deputy, the ministries have many directors, and what harm will it really cause us? Please tell me.
So what I'm saying, so for example, let's say that of all the cabinet positions, the president considers maybe the list of, let me just assume that of all the cabinet positions, roads and highways will be the one that may not require a deputy. I am just assuming. Okay. You can assume that maybe trade will not need a deputy, or foreign affairs will not need a deputy. So I'm just using roads and highways, that roads will not have a deputy. So what it means is that the minister across this country, all the roads that the Mahama government has promised to do, that minister has to champion all the activities, go everywhere. Directors. In the event that he is not well. Or something. No, I'm holding. But the directors they don't get involved in the political sphere. So, for example, if the substantive minister is unable to come to Parliament because he's been invited to Parliament to come and present, answer questions and all that, and he can't come because he doesn't have a deputy, we'll have to wait for him to get well before that answers can be answered. So I'm only saying that
cabinet can be less than 19. The 19 is the maximum. Yeah. It can be, it's no.
Okay, yes, so that's the
so it can be less than 19.
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody, all these 19 people you are talking about,
that's right. They'll all be cabinet.
No,
so his cabinet will probably be 18.
Yes,
so that
or even yes. So the 19
so don't
is
worry
the maximum.
With that.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that all the 19 you're talking about, everybody must be there to the extent that when one is not there and he doesn't have a deputy. I will open the constitution for you.
It's the importance of the ministries you are probably emphasizing on, and I agree with you.
So, well, I'm only saying that I honestly don't see why, as a country, our numbers are growing. We are now 35 million. I'm hearing, but yes, we seem to be placing restrictions on ourselves that the framers of the 1992 Constitution did not even place on us. So please, we need to get to the point where we relax on these matters and just know that it is for the progress of the country.
But this promise is made already.
Yes, in Nanado's first term, there were 15 cabinet ministers. There wasn't local government, works and housing, fisheries. They were not cabinet representation.
How do you know that?
Oh, but there's documents to back it. How can you say how do you know that?
They always send a edition to Parliament.
The president will have to wait for him to show
up.
No,
normally Parliament either requests or
in 2021, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Minister for Local Government, Minister for Works and Housing, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, they were all not cabinet positions.
Okay, so we should be talking about the importance of those ministries to have deputies.
I'm just saying that the number was 15.
Yeah.
You are saying 19. In 2017, 2021, cabinet was 15 each. So it doesn't have to be 19.
Yes.
I hope we've settled that matter. Thank you. So even if the works and housing or what's it called, roads and highways, roads and highways doesn't have or they have or whatever it is.
The Constitution
he knew all these things when
the Constitution says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So it's understandable. Yeah. But my point really, the emphasis I'm making is that we are. It appears to me that because of politics and political expediency and talking on the side of Ghanaians and propaganda and all those things, we seem to be tying ourselves. And I'm worried about that tying ourselves down. When you are having a country that is expanding, an economy that is growing, and so many things needs to be done, but we are tying ourselves. it will go along. It will. They say what goes around comes around. This will go around and come back and probably come and hurt us. So it's only a question that I'm raising, and it's fine. In terms of the appointments, I think that the Ministry of Education has become a very prominent ministry. You know, previously, when you talk about prominent ministerial positions, it was finance, trade, attorney general, and those defense. But as we speak right now, when we talk about prominent ministries, education perhaps ranks first or even second, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not surprised that when the president looks at all his people, he chose probably his best guy. For me, his best guy, which is Haruna, to become the Minister for Education. And it tells me the issues that are going to come out from education and the kind of person you need, the kind of face that you need to be fronting and solving the problems at the Ministry of Education. And so I'm not really surprised that Haruna is in that space because of obviously his qualification and
yes, to go there.
Well, his qualification and his abilities. So for me, education is a must-watch place. There is free SHS to talk about. There's free TV to talk about. There is educational facilities to talk about. There are so many things to deal with.
Private, how do you call them? Private operators that will join free SHS.
Free SHS and all those things. But I think that wrapping up, in terms of the appointments to state institutions, it is expected that it will be persons who have served in the NDC in various capacities who will occupy those positions. But there's one that has brought about some confusion, and that has to do with the Ghana Revenue Authority. Revenue generation for any government is not a political matter. Take it from me. If you put a politician to go and do politics with your revenue generation, the after impact it will have on your government, you'll be surprised. Because everything rises and falls on how much revenue you are able to generate. And when it comes to revenue generation, the political establishments must understand that it is not a political space. So whereas I can appoint a Sami Jemfi to go to PMMC, I cannot necessarily appoint a Sami Jemfi-like person to go and head revenue generation, because revenue generation, it is an expert platform. It's an expert space, and that is why I believe the president went to KPMG to go and look for somebody there in the person of Sapon to appoint him to become the is it Director General? No, not Director General. They use
Controller General or something. What is the name now?
Commissioner General. Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue. So I hear there's some confusion among party rank and file. They think that they should have been. No, they should relax. Revenue generation for the whole country, and they should note it is the whole country that is paying the revenue and not just NDC. So they should understand that revenue generation is a different ball game, and you would need a professional. Under Akufo-Addo, all the people who were at Ghana Revenue Authority, none of them has said kukurudu before. Or you understand what I'm saying? It has always been like that. Yeah. And so revenue generation for any government, it must be guaranteed. You cannot go and do politics with it. I rest my case.
Okay, and just by way of correction, I mentioned earlier that in President Akufo-Addo's first term, there were 15 cabinet ministers. That's not true. The document I have, there are actually 19. What I listed was 19 for both terms. Okay. But what I mentioned were the people in 2021 that were, yes, the names of persons who were not made cabinet ministers. Okay.
Yes, because I would have been surprised. I knew that the President Akufo-Addo's cabinet was 19.
Everybody was
so I was a bit surprised. Okay. That's why I asked, how do you know? But I didn't want to push further. But it's good that we corrected it.
Yes, thank you.
So cabinet is supposed to reflect the importance attached to sectors, and it differs from a president to a president. So I remember having an engagement with HMS Abozo because it had become a national issue of the fact that he was outside the domain of cabinet, regardless of how important he was in the MPP administration. He had mentioned that, no, his name might not have to appear on paper, or his ministry appear on paper as a cabinet portfolio before he does what, or he takes part in what happens at cabinet. And that sometime when cabinet is in session, he had not shown up, they will have to wait for him. And so that it differs. But yes, the constitution says a ceiling of 19, but of course it shouldn't be less than 10. But like you mentioned, indeed the president has said that some portfolios will not get deputies. He has said that publicly. I agree with any decision that will help us make savings. See, there's a reason why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had promised 50. There's a reason why Mahama promised 60. Now, especially with Mahama, he had been in there. He had worked with more than 80 ministers. And he's realized that there are many things that could be done with a fewer hands. So why not? In fact, I think moving forward, we should even scale the number down further. See, there's a political price to pay for it, and that's what we are witnessing. The agitations are all because of this. We didn't have these agitations during President Akufo-Addo's first term because he largely satisfied everybody.
Right.
Everybody got something. And so therefore, if you are in a community and you want to agitate, they will tell you that Adwoa Mansa's grandson somewhere has gotten something in your community. Then you mellow. Now we have constituencies like Ho Central, a conversation we've had, which says that that particular constituency didn't get an appointment, even though we have 4 individuals from the voter region who have been appointed under this administration.
Okay. Abi, I'll come back to you. Let me give you the opportunity to say what you wanted to say. I'll do.
Oral.
Okay, it's oral that you
Yes,
wanted to, what you said you wanted to help him with.
Oh, no. That one is done. It's
Okay,
the oral I want to
okay,
talk
let's
about.
hear you.
Once I was away, you guys spoke about oral. You know, when the first day we came here, I said that I didn't have any issues with oral. Where I was here with, he had so many problems with oral. But I said no. I didn't oral per se, because I said they were just collecting information from people. And I even labeled it as a gossip. People were coming to bring all manner of information to them. And therefore, I do not have any problem with it. And I was talking about how this will be handled, the information will be handled. That will be an issue. And I also said that if somebody comes to make an allegation against me, and you don't verify with me, and you put out that information, and I think it's libelous, I'll sue the group. I said that individually or separately. I said that here. So I didn't have any problem with the information. But the way they are behaving now, I have serious issue with it. These are people who go, and these are people who have held high positions of state. And yet, they are going out with cameras, showing people who have supposedly got state properties, and they are showing them and telling Ghanaians that this is a loot that we are exposing. That's not how they were supposed to work. Is that what they told us they were going to do? I have serious issues with that. With the cameras following them and showing things that the public cannot even verify at the moment. And yet, this is what they are doing. I have asked a simple question. Are they saying that individual cannot acquire state properties when legally? If individual cannot, I don't even have a plot in Accra. As it here, I don't have a plot in Accra. If individual led how much more state property? I don't. I've never worked in state. But if people are deserving and they have acquired, land commission has given them authority to acquire and they have acquired. If you are talking of the pricing, that's a different matter.
But that's the same thing. What's the contention here?
No. The contention is that people
this oral conversation later. Let's finish with the ministerial because I don't agree with you.
I have serious issue. No, you don't agree. I know you don't agree.
Yes.
Because I'm coming to lands that have been given to commercial people for commercial purposes.
$500,000 ordinarily. And as a public official, you get
I don't have issues with that.
50,000 cedis. It is a big problem.
I said there's a problem. That's what I said.
So what are you saying deservedly? How do they deserve it? Because they are public officials.
If somebody, what the individuals are buying, the lands we are giving to investors, private people, how much are they paying for those lands? People are benefiting. Look, do you know all the estates that we are building? Almost all of them. A lot of them are government state lands we have given to the private people? How much are they paying for those people? If investors, so we should go into those ones too. Look, we have chain homes. They say it's an army land that was given out during President Mahama's time. He lives there. How much was given to the developers? How much did they pay for the land? There are many places that if we come there, so if individual can acquire land,
when they gave it to them, was there an agreement? Was it in exchange for something?
Exchange for what?
I'm asking.
They gave the exchange for what?
For free?
Look, you know, this redevelopment of Accra land started under Rawlings. I think around 1995, where government acquired lands and they were not developing. They think that no, the way Accra must be developed. So they decided that some of these lands should be given to people of investors to develop the lands. That's how come this whole thing started.
Okay.
So that if it is about acquisition, even if the person buys it, if the person has bought the land, you think that the pricing is not good. Look, the person who sold the land, it should be land commission, and land commission should be questioned with the person so that you look at the pricing. But to go out there, that the person has illegally acquired something and has paid a price. Why did he pay the price himself? Is it not somebody who gave him the pricing?
Thank you.
So we'll come to the issue of individuals and also investors who have acquired state lands. We should be looking at how much do we sell those lands to those private people.
Thank you. IB, please wrap up with your conversation here.
There's a very good point at which we can start with this, and that is just stop government appointees from acquiring state properties. It's
I will agree with that. Perfect.
For that, everybody agrees. Let's just draw a line in the sand and say that if we're a government appointee, leave the properties in the state you met them.
But you can sell to private people and go and buy from the private people.
See, the state,
you can sell to individuals to develop so that you go and buy the properties from those. So let's stop people from even buying houses from those investors.
Here's the thing. When you put in place a government,
hypocrisy is just too much in this country.
Please allow him to finish.
You entrust the national resources in the hands of the government you have put in place, right? Now, if there are questionable sales, there are remedies to have that addressed. What we are talking about is you cooking the food and eating it yourself. We are saying that if you are a government official, if you are a government appointee, don't buy state property. If they had started selling under Nkrumah, we wouldn't have had those properties by now. The principle is different.
The simple question.
No, you get the private sector.
Please let him finish.
The private sector you are bringing in.
This is not the substantive issue, so please don't push him.
In fact, this thing, if I had my way, I would.
The AG has told us that this coming week he'll be meeting the oral team to take whatever information they have. So I'm sure that next week, Friday, God willing, we shall definitely talk about oral.
Okay.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So back to the ministerial nominations. And so the agitations are because obviously many people will be disappointed. Indeed, many people are disappointed. On Ablakwa, yes, I was one of the people who said the best portfolio for Ablakwa might have to be foreign affairs. And my reason is simple. Ablakwa had been on a crusade, and that crusade didn't start today. And you see, there's something called times and season. An opposition MP undertaking investigations and putting the content out, who is not immune to the legal regime. No, if people have taken him on. We spoke to Freddie Blay, the former national chairman for the NPP, who is in court. He has taken Ablakwa on, and there are many others who have done that. So here's an individual working as an opposition MP and conducting investigations and putting the report out. How will you say that he will behave the same way as foreign affairs minister? You are not being fair to him, because I'm coming. No, you suggested, but you see that's automatic. That goes without saying that Ablakwa will not go and enter into an agreement with the government of US and come and put that agreement on social media. Come on, then it means that you are even questioning the basis for his appointment. You want to tell me that those in government today,
you remember the no thing about a wall?
Yeah, he was in opposition, and that was his work to do.
Oh, my goodness.
Once you are in opposition,
my goodness, you put out information that is not credible. You say you see in opposition,
but isn't that what opposition?
Credibility doesn't matter when you are in opposition. Is that what you are saying?
Let's wait and see what the NPP will do in opposition.
That to change his ways, it will be better for him and Ghana.
Okay,
he should move on.
Go on, please.
Okay, so with that, I'm very sure that there are even 100 Riso talk about Atuforsen. Atuforsen went all the way. all the way to the US, Walter Blakwa, to petition the US government, right? Again, that's the point.
They
That's
lost
what
the election.
opposition does. That's what opposition does. Now that MPP is in opposition, see, we will experience similar things from it. We have already started experiencing that. That's how it's supposed to. You and I are supposed to be the gatekeepers and say that, no, this you have gone overboard. This is within the remit. Those who are offended can't go to the court, as we have seen happen day in, day out. So, back to the appointment, I said that Ablakwa with his exposés will have had a difficulty working within the system. The education ministry will have had challenges. Wherever internally will have had challenges. The best place portfolio is what is being given. Let's see what comes out of that. I've also noted that there are some young people who have given appointments. That is a huge risk and an opportunity as well. If they show up and deliver, it's to the credit of every young person in this country. Many more opportunities will come. If they take their eyes off the ball and they fail, that will be windows of opportunity being shut to the faces of many other young people. I've equally noted that this party is promoting people who have worked, either perceived or real. And we talk about Malik and Sami Jemfi, many others as well. It means that there's vacancy at the party head office. How the party handles that to get the party to work as a party in government is up to the party to determine. Like I said, he mentioned Edward Bauer. Yes, I equally believe that Edward Bauer, his knowledge about the sector is very much. At the Energy Ministry, he was not even a PRO. He was actually a communications consultant engaged by the World Bank.
At one point, he was
became
consultant.
When he came, he was engaged by the World Bank to speak on energy and power matters at the ministry. That should tell you the knowledge, the depth of knowledge he had in the sector. So, to conclude on this, many people are agitating. In fact, the NCA appointment is up for agitation. There were people who showed up at GRA. They said they wanted to greet the new Commissioner General acting who had been appointed because they were not happy. See,
they wanted to greet him.
They wanted to greet him, yes. So I think the party might not have paid attention to the fact that with the promise of just 60, many more people will be disappointed. So rein in the supporters. Orient the supporters to understand that it's not everybody that will get appointment. Finally, I engaged the Bole Bamboy MP who came to replace the president. I'm talking about Yusuf Sulemana. His people were also agitating, and he had a simple question for them. Do they just want a minister, or the youth there want jobs, and then the constituency wants development? If it's jobs and development that they want, then it doesn't take a minister to bring that to them. You can have a minister and you miss out on these two things, right? So yes, there will be agitations, but it's up to the party to know how it handles it. So far, so good. On the gender bit, I think that the president will have to then come and probably explain that he meant general appointment and not just cabinet. And not just cabinet. Because if it's cabinet, then it will be difficult for that to be fulfilled. But I've noted that there are many women who have been pushed to the presidency, from Nana Oye Bampo to Shamima Muslim to Valerie Soya to Marita Brewer Piopong and many others who have been appointed to the presidency. So if it is appointments in general, then I think it's gone beyond the 30%. But if you limit it to cabinet, that's where you have the 16.6%. So but there's more room for improvement. But I agree with you that the ultimate appointment, the ultimate woman that many people are proud of is Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. And many people who have children, who are girls, can point to the fact that if you take your education seriously, you can rise to even beyond where Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman has gotten to. And that's something worth celebrating.
Serwaa,
absolutely, yeah.
He mentioned Jubilee House appointments. My very good friend and sister, Shamima Muslim, Deputy Presidential Spokesperson. Who is her boss?
Felix. Who is now?
Felix is a minister.
He's a minister of state in charge of that same thing.
Government communication.
Government communication. And so, my sister, is she just a spokesperson or also a deputy minister?
No, she's not a minister.
The thing was clear. The communique was clear. She said...
Deputy to who? It's a deputy
Felix.
presidential spokesperson.
Yes.
maybe there will be a substantive.
Because Felix was in an acting
there's a difference between
anyway.
government.
So maybe there's going to be a substantive one.
There's a difference between, to my mind, difference between government communication and presidential communication. To my mind.
What's the difference?
Oh, there's a lot.
Government, presidential.
Yes.
Okay.
So governance is not just.
Those I've forgotten his name.
That is the reason why, even under.
I've forgotten his.
That's the reason why, from President Kufuor's time, you have director of communication at the presidency.
Yeah. Are you talking about the name what?
Yes.
Okay.
He's probably likely to maybe take over from Felix as the spokesperson of the president, for which
presidential.
Okay.
Since you say that, yes, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm just asking whether there is.
But I get the confusion. Yeah, I was also wondering what Felix's position now is.
Who is he now
a minister of state or still the acting spokesperson for the president?
Yeah, but he's a minister of state with a portfolio.
He is a portfolio, and I'm saying that
government communication.
Shamima is deputizing.
But is it the same as? Does it cancel the earlier communicate that he's acting spokesperson for the presidency?
Okay, I get that confusion.
Yeah. I think that has to be. So I understand your confusion as well. Well, speaking of the president, still he has also. Let's make it very quick. So on the day that he swore in the first 6 ministers, he said quite a number of things. He said that he will not tolerate arrogance, and then he also asked them to begin the processes to declare their assets. Wilberforce, good call by the president. Even though for the asset declaration I have my own, issues with it, but generally it's a good call.
Well, I don't know what the issues you have with.
I just think that the laws guiding asset declaration is too opaque and it doesn't go in our favor, because all four of us here are very interested in, for instance, what any minister is declaring as having now before taking office. In the next 4 years when they are out of office and they declare again, as to whether they declared, you and I will never know. So what's the point really? It's between the declarant and the Auditor General. How does it benefit me?
As the Auditor General even look at it. Here it's parceled and
yes, it's sealed.
It's sealed. So he doesn't even open it.
So I think that maybe when it comes to if an issue arises with that particular minister, then perhaps we may need a court order or something to say that unseal it and let's do a comparison and all those kind of things. Yes, because asset declaration is people's assets. It's just that because they offer themselves to serve in public office, that's the reason why we are saying that declare your assets.
We are not saying it's a constitutional requirement.
Yes, when I say we are saying, what I mean is that as a country, Ghanaians is a national thing. We are saying, because really nobody is going to ask Serwaa to declare your assets. Why? Because you have not gone into public office. But if today you are going to be appointed a minister, which could happen,
the ministers who are not in our bed,
I'll tell you, sir, if you are appointed to today in NDC as a minister, they will kill. In fact,
the one who appointed you.
No, even this your building, if you don't take time,
they will come and bend it down.
They will invade here.
So you see,
don't even think about it.
I don't have a problem with assets declaration. Okay. I don't have a problem with it, as in the principle called asset declaration. But I think the issue has to do, like you were saying, with the process that we go through to do it. Because no matter how you look at it, it is concealed, because I am only being asked to declare my assets because I have decided to serve in public office. It doesn't mean that my asset portfolio should become a matter of public record that everybody should know. You understand?
Why then do we come and sit here and complain that people have looted us things and they have stolen? And when they were, you have said that there are people that you knew when they were not ministers, they were driving in some small car. Now they have homes here, houses here, cars here.
In fact,
will we ever know?
When I started this job as a journalist, a lot of them were in GSS. A lot of them were GSS.
Will we ever? I guess you, like you said, that's why you as an individual, nobody is interested in what you have now. Same as me. But as long as you put up yourself for a public position, your assets matter should be our concern.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Well,
if you don't think it should be something of public knowledge, then you probably will not have any moral right to come and complain later when you don't see it, and you can't accuse them of stealing anything. Because what if they tell you, I had it?
You see, that's the reason why we have to be very careful when we are accusing people. The very reason why I had problems with this oral thing, me, because the reason why I had a problem with it is that I thought it was like we were just going out there to attack people without any substance.
Who has been attacked?
No, what I'm saying, for example, there was a claim in the presentation that Mr. Kujeto Ablakwa did, the 52-page presentation, that one of the former president's daughters had looted estate land on the switchback road.
Where the restaurant
where a restaurant is, Sumunam restaurant or something of that sort. And that it was part of the looting of state assets, state capture. Those were the words. Publicly put out there on national television, live presentation. Then you go to the Lands Commission, you go and check, and the supposed daughter of the former president has actually rented the space from the owner of the land, who has died, and so his estate is being managed by his 2 children. So it's rented. But we have put on national television that it is part of state capture. Scandalous.
You are a student of the law. There are available processes for it.
I know.
But I'm saying, here from day one.
Yes, but I'm saying that if a person, a lawmaker, somebody who makes laws in this country, is a member of parliament, is allowed, can be allowed to go on national television, and even now is a member of government, can be allowed to go on national television, make such claims against people free of charge.
But Wilberforce, I think that you can talk about the quote and unquote exposés of Okujeto Ablakwa, and not necessarily oral, because he was doing all these things you're talking about even before the
I don't have a problem with his exposés,
right? So what these things you are saying, he has said other things about other people.
Is he going to carry that to foreign affairs?
Yes, but I'm just saying that what I am talking about is in his oral presentation, and I have a copy here. I can show it to you. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not bothered about whatever he has done in the past.
Was that presentation part of oral?
Yes. See, what he did, and let's put this in context. He put together every expose, same things he had put. Point to me any new thing.
He wrote oral. There's oral.
This thing about
that document in circulation was all the exposés he's done. From everything that he put it together, and then put oral on it, and then put value. Monetary value on it, and say this is how much we could recover. You can't disagree with how he went about it, but the point I'm making is that there was nothing in there that Ablakwa had not put out before that presentation.
So that thing he put out there he's just mentioned, we should allow it to flow because he has mentioned it
what
before.
I was trying to
point out,
which IB agrees is, you said this same person in question is a lover of social media. Some of these things, in fact, like he said, which new thing? This conversation about the things that have made it to the documents going around are things that he has already been putting out on his social media.
The whole oral thing is about allegations made by Ablakwa, which he has to
be investigated.
But Ablakwa has been championing this
this corruption
even before, and
somebody does this to me. You people will see.
What I'm saying is that
so
we are all against corruption.
Right.
I am against corruption.
I don't think we are all against it.
Okay, but
you are not.
We are all against.
When I say we not everyone in this country is against corruption. Some people love it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that we who are sitting here,
yes, we are against corruption.
We are against corruption.
Yes.
And so we are happy
when we are all inherently corrupt.
Yes, we are happy when we unearth corruption-related issues and deal with them. But I am only saying that as a country, do we want to go that route where, and we are still talking about assets declaration? That's the question you asked me. But as a country, we want to go that route where we can allow one person or somebody to just go out there to town and make wild claims against people who are maybe politically exposed, and say that they are corrupt, they have captured the state, they have looted the state, all simply because of a restaurant sitting somewhere, only for you to go and find out that the person you are saying has looted, has captured the state, has actually rented the facility, and has evidence to show you that I have paid rent. So I don't even own the property. I only rented it to be able to do business and employ Ghanaians. But we go out there and say it is state capture. That's what the problem I'm saying. So that is the reason why this issue about what you call it, asset declaration. So someone like Mr. Okujeto Ablakwa, he's now going to be Minister for Foreign Affairs, hopefully. So we expect him to declare his assets. Yeah. So he comes to declare his assets that he has a house at Airport Hills, and he has another one at East Legon, and he owns a townhouse at Cantonment or something. So he has declared. Then we keep it somewhere. Then he comes to office 4 years. Then when he's leaving, he declares again, oh, I still have my house at East Legon, and I have my other property at Airport Hills, and then my townhouse is at Cantonment. That is what I have. I haven't gotten any addition, and so he's sacrosanct. Do you get it?
But will you ever know? That's the bigger question. That's what we are all talking about. So
that's the problem. So that's why I'm saying that we don't have to allow people who are politically exposed to be pointing accusing fingers at other politically exposed persons.
Should we not?
We don't have to allow that.
But should we not to solve all of this? We want to know what you are declaring, so that even if someone comes to say Mr. Ablakwa has acquired A and B during his time in office, at least we all saw what was declared. So you cannot come and tell us otherwise. Is that not the cure to all of this problem?
Well, it is. So it can be as simple as what you are saying. You are simplifying it.
It's that simple.
Yes,
actually. It's
you have simplified it.
Why can't we just do that?
I am just saying that. The difficulty I have really is about the fact that the saying, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The IB said another way to solve all of this is the law that will make politically exposed persons not buy state property.
But that one there's hypocrisy. There's a hidden thing somewhere.
But if it will solve our problem,
then
you
let
speak
him.
now.
It will come to my turn.
Mr. For example, the president.
Please wrap up because you've been going.
The president has an office at
Cantonment
or Laboni, whichever way you want to call it. It's
Cantonment. It's Cantonment.
Until he became president in 2017. When did he become? 2012, 2013. 2017.
Yes.
It was when
the president
the current
today.
president.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Has that office always been there since 2013?
So
I think
when he was denied access to those facilities,
then
he
got
went
that
to procure a
place.
private one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm only saying that.
No, he was denied access to residence, not office.
Please, let's not.
I'm only saying that. I'm only saying that he owns. I don't know whether he owns the property. I cannot come and say that on the television.
But he has an office.
But he has an office at Cantonment. Okay, that land or that facility where the office is, I know, used to be under the custody of state housing.
Okay.
Do you get it? But through whatever legal means and processes, he has an office there in Cantonment, in a place that was, for all intents and purposes, a state land and owned by the state. Recently, when Haruna came to Parliament, Afenyo Market asked him. He says he lives in Cantonment.
Yes.
And it is okay for a politician to live in Cantonment. Cantonment lands, all of the Cantonment lands, there's none of them there that was private property or something. Most of them were vested in the state. So if you have any stint there, it means that you may have gotten it through a process that was legally done for you to get it from the state. So I'm only saying that all this plenty talk I'm doing, I'm only just saying that we should be very cautious when we are accusing people of state capture and looting the state, because sometimes you have to actually go into the details, find out, and be very sure that what you are claiming is what it is. But if we allow people to just do loose talk, It's state capture. They have taken from the state, only to go and find out that the state capture I was talking about, the person, the poor old person, has only gone to rent. Good morning.
Serwaa, you mentioned two things.
Yeah.
That the president, when he swore in the ministry, he talked about he will not tolerate arrogance. Arrogance of power. Medicine animal call arrogance. I have a challenge with it. You know, in Ghana, when people are assertive and they stand for what they believe in, we normally say they are arrogant. Mostly, that's how people are. But arrogance, if you don't respect people, that one is a different matter. And I don't think any of these nominees, any of these ministers behave in that manner. And so I hope that, because they've been there before, they've been deputy minister. Haruna has been a minister before. He hasn't changed. My very good senior brother Ayene, everybody knows he has not changed since he was it. So that one I don't expect them to change because they are good people. We all know. So that one is okay. Let's come to assets declaration. So I totally agree with you. Look, if somebody, so who are they declaring the assets to? Are they declaring to Ghanaians, or they are declaring to in an envelope? If it is about declaration, let us know that if you are coming to public office, this is what you have acquired, so that we know that, in fact, even that one cries suspect. How did the person acquire those things he is declaring? That's why I'm saying in this country we are all behaving like ostriches. So proverbial. Look, if we were to do life audit in this country, all of us, almost every minister or this thing will be in trouble, because the salary people are getting, how are they acquiring the houses in the East Legons, the cantonments and all that? How are they acquiring them? That's why I'm saying there's so much hypocrisy in this country. People sit and say state capture, state capture. How did you even acquire those your properties? You yourself, you are talking of state capture. What work have you done in your life to acquire those properties? When you are talking of state capture, it means that you have captured something to be able to buy those properties. Why? There are people who have not even worked in their lifetime in any organization. Or they finished university, they've been politicians, and they have acquired those properties. That is not state capture. I have legally acquired something. I don't know why I'm even talking, because I don't even have state property. I don't know why I'm bothering myself on these matters. But the hypocrisy of what people do, the conduct of people is what in fact pisses me off. Because this holier than thou thing, if we were to do, I'm saying that this country, if we were to do lifestyle audit and all that, how people acquire properties and all that, these people ranting and shouting around the country that they are what? Anti-corruption crusaders. In fact, they will be they will be incurably corrupt. We know. But you see, because we are hypocrites in this country, we say that, oh, this one is an anti-corruption crusader. Meanwhile, the person has acquired properties that we don't even know how he acquired them. And you classify such a person as an anti-corruption crusader. And we have lived with this hypocrisy over the years, and we glorify people who are destroying reputations of others. We should not live this way. If we want people to declare their assets, look, let them declare them. I have a house and blah 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 at this thing. Every Ghanaian should know this is my property. So that if I come and I'm declaring again, it should be made public. And this thing about if you want to stop the whole thing, like you don't buy state property, I am saying that look, in principle I agree with you. But that thing, there's a challenge there. We have friends. The reason why I'm saying Ghanaians, the culture that we have makes fighting corruption in this country is very difficult. And I've given you examples. How you are, even if you are visiting the chief, you must go with a drink or something. You have to go something. If somebody comes to your house, you have to give out something. If you are nominated a minister or an MP, people queue at your home every day. The day you go out of your house every day, you will have spent maybe more than the salary you earned a day, the salary you earn at the whole month. How do you think the person, the extra money, how is he getting it, the person getting it? So our culture is a breeds corruption in this country. But if you say that if somebody is a public officer and therefore should not acquire property, and that's the solution, I hear Honorable Ablakwa is championing that one too. Now I'm saying that, okay, it means that all your children, if you are a public officer, your children are also out. Your uncles should be out. Your great-great-grand uncles should be out. So who acquired the properties? Because if strictly you want to eliminate this influence and all that, because if I say I am my children and I give the house, I make in a way my uncle gets it or my father gets it, is it not the same thing? So if we are doing the law, that's the absurdity I'm talking about. If you are doing the law that if you are in position of trust, you should not get to public, then your children should be out, your uncles should be out, your mothers, your fathers, everybody should not acquire. So this country, who will acquire? Have you seen the absurdity? The thing is that if you are acquiring a property, it must be legal and you pay the right price for the property you are acquiring. If that is what we are advocating, I'm all for it. But this thing about if you're in public office, don't acquire state property, don't do this, I think we would stretch it to a level of absurdity that we cannot control, will not be able to control in this country.
Okay. Let me, before IB comes in, at the 14th Regional Conference and Annual General Meeting of the Heads of Anti-Corruption Agencies in Commonwealth Africa that was held in Ghana, this was May 2024, the conference determined in Resolution B that Commonwealth African governments should ensure the mandatory disclosure of assets and liabilities of all public office holders and take necessary steps to audit their lifestyles and that of their significant associates.
Lifestyles. So that if me, I will do. You see me, so I should be able to tell you how I bought my car. Because me, if you ask me today, I'll tell you how I bought my car.
No, we are not asking you today.
Serwaa, if you go out, I'll tell you how I bought my car. So you should be able to ask those people championing those anti-crusaders, all of them, in fact, including the members of Aura, how they acquire their properties. So if you do,
but when are we going to do this? That's the question.
No, you said what? This thing has been there, not 2024. This thing has been there since I was a child.
There was a resolution in 2024.
So let's hope. Once there's a resolution, 2024 what?
May.
Former President Akufo-Addo's time that was made. I don't know whether his ministers who have just left power they will be enjoined to declare.
Is the president required to declare his assets? The president himself?
Yes. So the president of the republic, per Article 2865, the public offices to which the provisions of this article apply are the president, the vice president, the speaker, deputy speaker, a member of parliament, a minister of state or deputy, chief justice, justice of the superior court, chairman of regional tribunal, which we don't have now, the commissioner for Shraj and his deputies and all judicial officers, ambassador or high commissioner, secretary to the cabinet.
Waste your time.
No, let me just say it.
Okay.
Head of ministry or government department or equivalent office in the civil service. Does it apply to all these positions that are being held, like the Malik's own? Because Malik said somebody had not declared his assets, so I want to know if this applies to his.
If you are a public official, public official,
and so it's passed, right? Yes. And you know, in Kenya, they have taken steps to make their parliaments amend their laws to make asset declaration public.
That's what we should be doing. So we can do it. That's what we should be doing.
And that's what I think we should do.
Yes.
The problem we've had with asset declaration is the regime and how it's administered. And I'm sure there is copious opinion and write-ups on this as to how to reform asset declaration regime. In fact, every party, whenever it's in opposition, talks about the fact that the opaque nature of our asset declaration regime has not been helpful. See, now what the regime we currently have is that you indicate what you have, and even that you choose to declare what you wish, right? You put it in writing, put it in an envelope, and then send it to the Auditor General. The Auditor General is not even allowed to open it. The Auditor General is not allowed to open it. So it becomes an issue because there's no verification. So we should have a regime that allows the Auditor General to go and verify the properties you are putting there and conduct his own or her own investigation and find out if there are other properties that are in your name or are in the name of other persons who are related to you one way or the other, that you've not declared. See, everybody is prone to corruption. Everybody is susceptible to corruption. What the system can do is to make it difficult for you to become corrupt. And you do this by deploying systems to place checks and balances on people. Now, when the president said his appointees should declare their assets within a time frame, he said he subsequently announced the time frame. It's because in the past there were some of his appointees that did not declare their assets. See, you declaring your asset under this regime and not declaring, no difference. You not declaring doesn't mean you are corrupt, and you declaring doesn't mean that you are not corrupt.
Yes.
Because there are many ways of circumventing the current regime. So what we should all push for will be reforms. The reform should be that when you declare your assets, it must be made public. And what this will do for all of us is that if you are not ready to make your asset public, then don't come in for public office. It's simple.
Yeah.
If you are not ready for us to know your wealth, then stay in private sector. Don't come closer to the public kitty. It's as simple as that. Aside that, there must be periodic review and verification. So for instance, you've declared your asset, you are in office for 2 years. Let's revise that particular declaration. How much more have you added on? And where are they? Verified, made public, we move on. The asset declaration regime is just to ensure that you do not earn much more than you deserve. It's simple. See, you have property A before being given office. We all know the salary you are paid. As Governor Kwame Boja declared before the appointment committee, MP salary in his own is 15,000 Ghana cedis. So if his salary is 15,000 Ghana cedis, yes, he declared it. He declared it.
Is it 20 or 15?
15. He mentioned 15,000 Ghana cedis.
That's the net.
Yes, take home after deductions.
An MP.
For MP. At least we can talk about Governor Kwame Boja because he declared that that's how much he earns. The member of parliament for Adaklu and now rules minister. 15,000 Ghana cedis. If after 2 years we realize that the wealth you've added is much more than what 15,000 salary can cater for, we have questions to ask and answers for you to provide. Now, aside, and then I'm sure that moving forward, we all agree that let's re-engineer asset declaration regime. Let's also probably enhance it by looking at a lifestyle audit. Let's audit the lifestyle of our public office holders. It's allowed. The OSP is actually allowed to do that. Lifestyle audit. You are there, the OSP comes and says, looking at the lifestyle you are living and the salary you earn, they do not commensurate. So let's find out where you make your extra money from. If we do that in this country, we will go a long way in not just checking opulence, but fighting corruption head on. Because the politicians, you know what they do? They acquire properties in the name of others. So I agree that their spouses must equally declare their assets. When you declare your asset, your wife must declare his asset. When the woman, you declare your asset, your husband must equally declare his asset. And so therefore, we will then stop you from acquiring properties in the name of your drivers. You know what they do? They acquire properties in the name of their drivers. They acquire properties in the name of their aides and what have you.
Some lose just those properties eventually.
Oh yes, it's a risk.
There's a risk that
they are taking. If it works for them,
it's a risk.
They are home and dry. Back to arrogance. See, there is no any other swift way of going to opposition than arrogance of power. And I have realized that about Ghanaians. We were on campus in 2007. I knew how people voted because of what they were seeing and what they perceived was happening. Same this time around, same in 2016. So it's up to the appointees to do what they think is right. I'm a producer. When I talk about arrogance of power, I'm not talking about you coming to salute me. I'm talking about being accessible to the media and being accessible to the public. Already, some people who have not even taken office are not picking their calls. That's the easiest way to go to opposition. That's the easiest way to go to opposition. No, I'm a producer. So
I'm sorry to interject.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
I need to take a break.
Okay,
Hold on.
yes,
I need to take a quick break. Please stay with me.
Once upon a time,
To the show. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere, and this is the breakfast review. We call it the weekend review on Fridays. We've been talking a lot about the ministerial appointments, declaration of assets. Actually, we are still on declaration of assets as mandated by the Constitution. I'm here with Ibrahim Hassan, Wilberforce Asari, and Audu Mahama. You were making a point, yes.
So we've gotten a legal opinion to relative to we saying that people buy properties in the name of others. As we speak, we told that there's no law that bars anybody from acquiring a property in another person's name. Not just that. Now, now agencies are buying properties for people. So the properties are in the names of agencies, but you are the owner. Now, if you buy properties in the name of an individual, it's a risk. As you mentioned rightly, the individual can assume that I'm the owner and the property has got nothing to do with you. And the law court will actually side with that person. Yes. So it's a risk you are taking. And so you can buy properties in the name of people who are even not your family members because you want to hide it, because you are a politically exposed person. But it's a risk you are taking, you could lose it. I think the line we have to draw is this. We have to look at the caliber of people we appoint in positions of trust. It's as simple as that. See, if you are dishonest, you are dishonest. If you are not candid, you are not candid. It doesn't matter how many laws we put in place. You can find a way of circumventing it. You heard the president talk about the fact that he's had sleepless nights. Why? You cannot enter the heart of the people you are going to appoint. So you cannot tell whether they will do right by you or not. Right? But you still have to appoint people. But if the people go wrong and it's established that they go wrong, your ability to take them on will be what will distinguish you from other leaders. So, yes, Serwaa for corruption, see, it's been with us. We'll keep talking about it. It is a system and the people that we put in positions of power that we must look at. It's as simple as that.
Look, this assets declaration thing, people should declare the assets. So we have said it all. Let us see what you are declaring, fili.
And if Kenya is doing it, why can't we do it?
What you just read, I am not sure this country, it will be implemented, this lifestyle auditing. It will not. Just forget it. I'm saying everywhere to do that. This country. It won't.
All right, let's move on. Let's deal with the last topic and then we can go. The president met with the clergy. And he said that they should criticize him when things go wrong. And that is because, I mean, he didn't say, but for many people, the interpretation of that is because a lot of persons couldn't speak under the Nanado government. They felt gagged. They couldn't talk. They couldn't... What?
Clergy, people couldn't
Everyone.
Talk. You said you couldn't talk.
I didn't say me.
Which people said they didn't talk under Akufo-Addo?
CSOs.
That they couldn't talk.
Heads of institutions, the police.
Don't mention CSOs.
Journalists.
Take them out.
Okay.
Journalists couldn't talk in this country.
Journalists. Press freedom was very bad. Journalists, policemen,
do we have time for this topic?
Teachers, and talk when there's time. I'll tell you.
Maybe for head teachers, it was that serious. For teachers, it was serious.
Am I the one talking?
You will dispute that too.
No, I will not.
Journalists, even regular. Look on social media.
Yes.
When John Dramani Mahama was sworn in, or after Nana Dodon Akufo-Addo lost, you saw all manner of people coming out to speak their mind. I wondered where they had been all this while. But some of them in their quotes, including some celebrities, said that you gagged or appeared to gag everybody that tried to speak against the government.
Tell me one person, one of those... Let me restrain myself.
Who was
any of those journalists or the so-called CEOs who did not speak in this country or did not put something on social media without any knock or slap from the face at the face? Tell me, mention one who said that under President Akufo-Addo, I could not speak on radio, I could not write on my social media handles, I could not go to radio station and speak. Mention one. And I'll say, Sema, I'll leave this show right now. Mention one who said that I was gagged. I could not write on social media. I could not speak on radio. I could not speak on TV. Mention one who said he could not do all these things when Akufo-Addo was president? Mention one. No, this country, I think the hypocrisy, if you don't like somebody, say you don't like the person. That was a different matter. If the person has not done what you want, say he has not done what I don't want. But to say that media was stifled in this country is absolute nonsense. Which media? Look, Serwaa, I came to this show. I said whatever I wanted to say under Akufo-Addo. And I did it before, even under Akufo-Addo's regime. Even before Akufo-Addo's regime. And nothing has changed. Tell me one person. Serwaa, mention the people who
I will. The media foundation. The media
Kufu is also former Chief Justice.
What did she say?
That she was gagged from speaking.
That's See, Media Foundation for West Africa. Hold on. Let me finish.
I don't like this.
Media Foundation for West Africa fact-checked President Akufo-Addo's claim about freedom of expression condition in the country. And they said that it was not entirely true.
Okay.
I'll read it out to you. So on 8th March 2023, the President delivered a State of the Nation address, and he said that the state of the freedom of expression in the country had reached enviable heights. He said, and I quote, "Today we live in a country in which we enjoy complete freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, Indeed, freedom of speech has now reached such heights that even members of the diplomatic corps feel able to join in our national discourse. However, the Media Foundation for West Africa contests and says this is inaccurate of the President's assessment of freedom of expression. And they said that the facts on the ground do not look half as cheerful as the President claims. And they actually didn't just make the blanket statement. They back it up from
examples.
Oh, I will, my dear. They back it up from, they said, while the freedom of expression is guaranteed, there were complaints of threats, arrests, and physical attacks on journalists and activists under the Akufo-Addo administration. From 2021 to 2022, the Media Foundation for West Africa recorded 30 press freedom violations in Ghana, with the state security agents accounting for 67% of those abuses. It also goes on to say that Ghana dropped from having the freest media environment in Africa in 2018 to 13th in the 2022 Global Press Freedom Ranking by Reporters Without Borders.
I have a question. I have a comment.
So if it's easy to the Media Foundation, but I'm not the author.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm making a comment. I'm making a comment on this. So, for example, I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
I write something about somebody, and then the person is not happy that I've written about him.
Yeah.
And so the person goes to court and sues me for writing what I've written.
Yeah.
And then there's a government official. A journalist says something about that government official. The government official is not happy about what you have said about him. So he reacts and says that what you said is not true. Okay, these two scenarios, does it amount to gagging the media? Which one amounts to gagging the media?
Let me add a third scenario. Somebody sits on air and says something about the president. Let's just say insults the president or says something insidious about the president. The person is put before a court and then jailed.
Okay, so the person.
That would be the third.
So yes, if the person, let's say somebody says something against the president, the person is arrested. Or let's say the person insults the president, the person is arrested.
Or the president's wife or the vice president.
I have a problem
because
with
that.
It
happened.
That I have a problem with that. But I'm only saying that these scenarios that we are given, which of them amounts to gagging the media? Me, who wrote a story about somebody and the person is not happy, he's politically exposed, so sues me at court. Or the politician who a journalist says something about and the politician is not happy, so reacts
and is jailed.
And well, that jail aspect, that one is an extreme thing. Is if the person, I think we are talking about the.
I think the Power FM or
there was a guy who said something.
It's Oheneba,
Well, he said something. I think it was
about the first family, second family, said something.
I've forgotten the facts of that case.
No, I'll put it
I wish I could get the facts. But I'm only saying that this thing about gagging of the media is at liberty to say whatever they want to say. But just know that when you have finished saying it, the person on whom you, or the person who what you said concerns also has something the person can also do to protect himself or herself. Look, I wrote a story, and all of you know, I wrote a story based on a video that was circulating on social media about Sami Jemfi. He sued me for writing the story because he said I had defamed him for writing a story based on a video and comments that people were making. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm a journalist. Was it gagging? Was I being gagged?
Will you write anything about him again when you see it on social media?
If there's a story to write, I'll write it.
When you see a video circulating,
no, I'm saying if there's a story.
Be very honest. Will you not be measured and be careful? Is that not what gagging is?
So are you?
But at least, then again,
so are you suggesting that me have been gagged?
Which is the normal thing to do.
I'm only asking the question that for that issue, does it amount to gagging me as a media person?
If you don't feel gagged, that is fine. You believe in you are you've been practicing, as in, I mean, you've been a journalist at the court for a very long time, so you understand that defamation is the best route to go when someone feels defamed. However, assuming that you were jailed like this other presenter, even if it's for 2 days, in the near future, I do not think
you can
that
only be
you
jailed.
go that route again.
But you can only be jailed.
Yes, we boast of having repealed the criminal libel law.
You can only be jailed if you have been charged with a criminal offense. If you have not been charged with a criminal offense,
that's fair.
So that's why I'm saying that the guy you are talking about, I've forgotten the facts.
He will pull it up.
He
but
can
then
only
many
be charged.
argue that
he was charged with a criminal offense, prosecuted for a criminal offense. That's the only way he can be jailed.
But many argue that,
but not jailed because he was saying something about somebody. Criminal offense.
I know, I'll come to you.
What was his offense? Yes.
Many believe that because following that jail, many believe that what the guy did amounted to defamation, and that is the route that.
So what was his offense? What was he charged with?
He was charged with publication of false news.
And interestingly, I'm sure the story was written by you because the story that came up is from Assassin.
So, but it's my name on it. But just read it out.
No, I'm going to read it. It's loading, and I'm sure it will load very soon.
Okay.
But yes, so okay, it's here. So Power FM presenter jailed 14 days. Oheneba Buama Banye of Power FM was detained by the police in December 2020 over a series of threats made against President Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Yes. That's a radio presenter making threats against the president.
Okay.
Good. So there's a difference between threat and carrying the threats out. And Accra High Court, presided over by Justice.
Stop this thing you have been saying. There's a difference between making threats and carrying out the threats. I don't like this.
Okay, you don't go on. So
when please, we have to wrap up. So let's
Radio XYZ reported that the court also fined the Power FM broadcaster 3,000 Ghana cedis at the hearing on Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. In her ruling, Justice Denchi held that Oheneba Buama was guilty of the charge against him and that she was being light-handed in passing the sentence. I'm quoting, "I have been magnanimous," the judge declared. When counsel for Buama, Victor Kojoga Adawudu, prayed the court to be charitable. Oheneba Buama Bani of Power FM was detained by the police in December 2020 over a series of threats against President Akufo-Addo. There's background.
So threatening the president.
So this story was written by Fred Japata.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that threatening the president, we need to go to the criminal code and find out, is there an offense called, is there an offense that is in our laws?
Is that different from the one for publication
that
of
you cannot
false news?
threaten?
Yes,
no, hold on, let me finish. Is there an offense in our criminal code that says that if you threaten the sitting president, it's an offense that you can be charged with, and not as a journalist? Because he was not, you are talking about the fact that this journalist was sitting in somewhere and threatening the president of the republic. That is not journalism. Yes, but that is not journalism.
All right, thank you. I have the final word. Yes,
I've read all the well-written thing by my very good brother
Yes,
Suleiman.
it's my duty to read it.
Suleiman, I don't see any person being gagged in that report. Nobody. He himself. He's always on GHOne News. He's always on. Look, social media. If you open, I'm sure today you will see him commenting. There's no gagging anywhere. The person you mentioned that he was sentenced for 14 days.
Yeah, 14 days.
Do you listen to Power FM?
No, I don't.
Look,
I will listen to Star FM.
Exactly.
So you will know what all these people spew out there, attacking people, insulting people all the time. Look, he has mentioned there is nobody who has been gagged in this country for commenting. To the extent that we, as journalists, even criticize our own that, look, this person is going too far. Don't we do it?
Yeah.
Look, this whole thing, he has not put journalism when we have how do you call it, rights, right? I have not seen, he has not spoken about the responsibility that is on us. The responsibilities as a journalist that we must carry, we must live up to. Journalists in this country, and they say, majority, many of them are so irresponsible. And I say it all the time. Me, I'm a journalist. If you defame me, you insult me, do all that thing, and I fail, I say it all. It's on TV, live. You may arrest me. If I know that if I take you to court, it will take years.
Don't say it.
I shouldn't say it.
Yes.
Because mebo.
Thank you very much. Exactly. Thank you for coming. What about for Sosari?
So nobody has been gagged in this country. It's a figment of somebody's imagination. The CS also has been more vocal.
Mahama is the managing editor for the Custodian newspaper. Ibrahim Al-Hassan is the producer of GH Today and the organizing secretary for the Parliamentary Press Corps. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
You say Ibrahim is a police officer?
No.
Sorry.
Thank you. There's a 4-year-old author that we'll be talking to very shortly. But before then, let me do some birthdays. Today, actually, yeah. Let me do the birthdays. Don't go.
You shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Today is Bakini's birthday.
You have to calculate.
December
14. No.
Ivy, how long?
I'm married on Christmas Day.
11. Wow.
So I am the.
You guys have really done well.
I am the senior.
Let's go on.
I was going to ask the question.
Even the late comer is the senior.
Happy birthday, my dearest daughter, Gifty. May today mark the beginning of happiness and life-changing opportunities from your favorite dad, Kofi Kizis. Enjoy your day. Love you, baby. Happy birthday, Hajia Fati Gold. May the Almighty Allah continue His blessings on you and your family as you celebrate your birthday today. Happy birthday from your first daughter. Happy birthday to you, Pastor Randolph Ashley. May the good Lord continue to bless you abundantly from your daughter, Juanita. Happy birthday to gospel musician and TikToker Michael. May to many more blessings, long life, and all your heart desires. Keep shining. Happy birthday to Honorable Kojoba Ajiman, former board chairman of the National Sports Authority, on your birthday. We wish you the very best in all you do. Have a glorious one from the sports desk here at GHOne TV and EIB. Happy birthday to you. Wow. Happy birthday to Mr. Sarichum Thomas. May the Almighty Lord renew your strength and answer all your silent prayers and wishes as you celebrate God's grace and divine favors. Have a blessed and blissful celebration from the EIB network. And today is the birthday of one of my makeup artists. She's called Cookie. Happy birthday to you, Cookie.
And today is the birthday of Grandma Elizabeth Ohene. She's 80 years today.
Wow.
She's going to the 8th floor.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I should tell you that she's literally some kind of a mate of the former president.
Yeah.
No wonder she was the one who was able to speak to the president.
Definitely.
Engage the president. The
Yeah.
president himself is on record to have said that.
Happy birthday to her. Elizabeth Ohene.
She's called Grandma.
80 years. Wow.
80 years.
And she's still very active.
Looking
Good. Happy birthday.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen, and happy birthday to you. We couldn't wish you a happy birthday on air, and it's still your birthday. Happy birthday.
Month of love.
February.
February.
We will wish you when that time.
20.
I know, right?
So Serwaa start sending the.
In my capacity as what?
As somebody who is well to do, who
Side.
can
Please.
who can send
In your capacity as side.
Oh,
God
you
forbid.
too. You too.
Don't misbehave
Don't
over there.
misbehave.
We'll be back after the break. Oh, this is GH Today. I'm Serwaa Amihere. Very shortly, we'll cross over to the Parliament House, where the vetting of the Minister for Interior designate will be starting shortly. But before we wrap up the show, I have a 4-year-old author with me in the studio, and he's amazingly cute. Sage Cuckoo Scott Arthur. Sage, good morning.
Good morning.
Don't look at mommy, look at me. How are you?
I'm fine.
Mommy, how are you? Can you
good,
introduce yourself? What's your name?
My name is Nascot Arthur.
Nascot
Arthur.
Nascot. Okay. Sage, how have you been?
Good.
Did you go to school today or not yet?
Not yet.
What time will you go from here?
After.
So, what inspired this book? Is that your book?
Yes.
What's the title of the book?
Cuckoo the Fixer.
Can I see it? Don't get up. No, stretch. Yes.
Yeah.
So sit again. Cuckoo the Fixer. Okay, you're a cuckoo. What do you fix?
Cars.
What cars?
Toy cars.
So what's the story about? Tell me.
The cat fell playing in the garden.
What?
The cat fell down playing in the garden.
The cat fell playing in the garden. Okay. And then?
Uncle's glasses fell down when he was working out in the gym.
Okay. And what happened?
And then his glasses fell on the floor and broke.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. And what else happened?
And my favorite book got torn.
Your favorite book got torn? Okay. And then you fixed it?
Yes.
How?
With sellotape.
Okay. And then what happened the next day?
And then the next day...
It rained.
And what happened?
And Mr. Scott's favorite pot broke.
Ooh. Okay. And then what happened?
And then then he thought what to do, and he called the fixer to fix it.
And who was the fixer? And so you fixed the pot as well? What did you fix?
The pot.
You fixed the pot. Ooh. So you fixed toy cars, you fixed pots. Can you fix my car?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
My car is not a toy car. Well done, Cuckoo. Well done. How long has... Let me talk to Cuckoo's mother now. How long has he had this book out?
Well, we're launching on Saturday.
Oh, you haven't launched
tomorrow.
it? You're launching it tomorrow. Where?
Yes. There's an online launch.
Okay.
I would share with you so you can see. It's on his YouTube page, which is at Cuckoo the Fixer. And then there'll be a Zoom link that will be shared for people to join in the online launch as well.
Okay. What kind of child is Cuckoo? What's he like?
I won't say he's strange, but I don't think the word is weird, but yes, for his age, he's weird. He's intrigued by things that when I was his age, or even kids his age now, are not. He's imaginative, he's observant, he's energetic, he's
intelligent.
Very intelligent.
Yeah.
I think his name sells him. Sage, no. His name actually sells who he is. So Sage means wise one.
Right.
And so I think he's really a wise one.
Cuckoo, are you all right?
Yes.
Yes. How do you feel as a mother?
Very proud.
Yeah?
Very proud. I'm very challenged because I've had to go through this journey. I don't think I've ever thought of writing, but it looks like now I have to put some skills together to be able to write because I need to support what he's writing, encourage him. So I'm proud, but I'm also very.
How did it all start? When did he and when did you guys decide that you would come up with this?
Okay, so I picked him from school one day and he said, "Mommy, my teacher says I should write a book." This was just over a year, when he was in nursery, when he was 3 years, he said, "Mommy, my teacher says I should write my own book." And I said, "What do you mean, write your own book?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Okay, I'll talk to your teacher." So next day I go and I pick him up and I ask him, "I'm told my son should write a book." She said, "Yes." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because he's different. I think there's something in him. When we're in class, we're asked to do 1 to 10 and he's at 1 to 100. We're asked to do ABC and he's at Z. He's putting letters together. He's saying things that kids of his age," he was 3 then, "kids of his age don't say." I know he went and he wrote a manifesto to be student council prefect, which he won. So I mean, age? 3 years.
Oh.
So I think we saw there was something in him. So I asked, she said yes. So I think we should push him to do more because he reads very well. At his age, 3 years, he could say imaginative. He could say words that people would have to put syllables together, but he could look at it and say it. So I said, okay. So she gave him a book and he was supposed to write something every day, a line every day. So over the space of maybe 6 to 8 months, we had a whole book. And I thought, okay, how are we going to write this? She said, okay, we'll pick some of the scenes, ask him why he's writing this, and then we'll get his ideas. So I asked him, Sage, why is your book always about something broken, I'll fix something? He said, Mommy, because I'm going to fix it. I said, so what does that make you? He said, the fixer. I said, okay, so I guess that's the title of our book. So we picked a couple of scenes and thought we'll start little so that it's not overwhelming. We got him to now draw what he was talking about, and so it's his drawing. It's his drawing that the illustrator used in the book. So it's not anybody's drawing, but it's his own drawing that has been illustrated in the book. Today we're here launching our first book.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How about his father?
We're all challenging. I mean, it's a challenging time for us because it's not.
To his father, I'm sure that he's watching.
He's watching.
Cuckoo, what do you have to say to Daddy?
What do you have to say to Daddy? He's watching. What do you say to him?
What's your daddy's name?
What's your daddy's name?
He's got Arthur.
Okay, what do you say to Daddy?
Thank you for encouraging me.
Oh, he's so smart. Okay, so both of you are clearly very happy with what Sage is doing.
Very happy, and we're very proud of him.
So you launch it tomorrow.
Yes.
What are the next steps after the launch? Are you going to come up with more books?
So he has more. He's got his titles that he wants to write already. So we just need to nurture that. And before the book came up, we had planned to do a book club. For him to read to kids his age.
Right.
So that was before book came in. So that is also going to continue. We will set it up for his book club to run. So we hope children will come on board and join him.
What has the feedback been like? I mean, because I've heard about the young Arthur, but what has even before the launch?
I know people said, are you sure he wrote the book? You know how they say it. I'm not a book sage. I'm not a book person at all, so anyone who knows me knows that it's never me.
Right.
I won't sit down to write a whole book. I just supported my son. I just encouraged him to do what he can do. And I mean, there's been negative, obviously, like natural, but there's been
ignore those ones.
I ignore those ones. But there's been a lot of positive.
Yeah.
We are proud of him.
Yes.
Do what you do best. And I know he's proud of himself too, so I guess the energy that he's getting around him is encouraging him to do what he can do.
Okay. Sage, what would you like to be in future? You're not sure?
Yeah.
You want to be many things, I guess.
Yes.
Like what? Oh, that's you. Okay, no, there's another story.
That's him. So that's
you
him
when you were growing. Sage, look at you. So, do you want to be a doctor, or what?
Yes.
You want to be a lawyer?
Yes.
What do you want to be?
A writer? Which one do you want to be?
A lawyer.
You want to be a lawyer? Okay, but you want to. So you want to be a lawyer to fix people's problems?
Yes.
Okay. What do your friends call you in school?
Chachapua.
Because you talk a lot, huh?
Yes.
So, your friends will not be watching. They're probably in school, but they'll see this video later. What do you say to your friends and your school teacher?
Good morning.
And what's your school teacher's name?
Mr. Santi.
And what school do you attend?
Mr. Santi.
And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you attend? Mr. Santi. And what school do you
Ghana International School.
Okay, your teacher is Miss Asante. So what do you say to Miss Asante and your school friends?
Good morning.
And
hello.
And they call you a chatterbox.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's not talking.
And are they right for calling you that?
Are you You're not a chatterbox?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Sit down,
Yeah,
Sage.
not.
Sit down.
Okay, but he says he wants to be a lawyer. Is this something you're excited about? I think he can. You know, writers make good lawyers as well. So I think that you're on the right course. Sage, what do you have to say to Mommy?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mommy. Don't you love her?
Yes.
So tell her.
Thank you, Mommy.
And
I love you too, Sage.
So how do people get access to the book when it's finally launched?
You can reach out to me. My number is 0209-650-627.
Please take it again. But slowly this time.
0209-650-627.
Okay.
That's my number, and I would get a copy to you. We're also on Amazon Kindle, so you can get a copy on Amazon Kindle as well.
Okay. How about social media?
So we've just, to be honest, it's been a lot going on. So we've put up his YouTube channel is up. His Facebook and Instagram pages are up as well. So we update things that he does and stuff on his book on there. So you can keep in touch with us or follow us on his handles are at The Fixer or at Kuku The Fixer.
Okay. What do you say finally to parents who have children like Kuku with great talents but are unable to manage everything at the same time? You know, help them with all of this. It's fine. Please let him be. He's been a child. Kuku,
okay.
Be yourself, okay?
Maybe ask him that question. Sage, what do you say to parents out there?
Please encourage your children.
Tell me. Talk to me. Yeah?
Please encourage your children to follow their dreams.
So this is your dream. You'll be writing more books?
Yes.
Oh, Sage, you messed up your microphone, so we cannot hear you, unfortunately. So, Mommy, you'd have to answer that question for me.
Okay, so I encourage parents to support their kids, nurture whatever they have in them. Doesn't matter what it is. Support them, encourage them, help them to follow what they really want to do, and believe in them. They know what they're about. They might be very small. Like I said, I saw signs. I didn't see him as an author, to be honest, but I saw signs from when he was very young. I would say from 3 months, because we would go to the store and he would pick a book. So I saw there was some signs of something different about him. And so I supported, I nurtured. We've got a whole library. We've got library time. So just support what they do and encourage them.
What about his school? How have they reacted towards all of this?
They've been very supportive, to be honest. They've also been challenged a bit because they need to figure out what to do to this. We don't want to say genius, but yes, genius, because he's way above his age, and they need to push him, because sometimes he goes to school and he says, I don't want to do this, I know ABC already. So now what do you do with a child who comes to school and says, I'm not doing this? So they've also had to do a lot of work, and I want to say that they've done really well. They've supported him to better himself, to, you know, do what he wants to do. He loves to learn, no two ways, but you need to help him, and they're really doing a great job at it.
Okay, Kuku, now that your microphone is fixed, I want to ask you, if you met the president of Ghana today, what would you tell him? Tell me.
What will you say to the president? Come on.
Take your time.
Okay.
What would you tell him?
Thank you.
Thank
For
you
what? He too.
What did he do to you? What did he do?
At least he's very grateful and appreciative. So,
what would you say to the president if you met? Take it from your
Thank you for supporting me.
Did he support you? What did he do to support you?
Would you like to meet the president?
Yes.
Certainly, right? And then tell him what? What would you like for him to do for children your age?
And support everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
and make children more happier, right?
Yes.
Yes, certainly, right?
Yes.
Exactly like
What's your favorite book?
Cuckoo the Fixer.
Oh, I love that. And I'd be surprised if you chose something else. Cuckoo, thank you so much for coming on my show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. And I'm really happy to meet you. Are you happy to meet me?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for coming. I hope to see you again when you release your next book. Okay? So I pray that this sells very fast. Then you come back soon. At that time, you'll probably be what? Maybe 5 or?
Well, we're 5.
Oh, you're 5.
We were 5 on Wednesday.
You're 5 on Wednesday. So you're no longer 4. So then you'll be 6. When you come up with another book, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well done. Okay. And Mommy, thank you so much for coming as well. I'm grateful. How is this expensive? Affordable?
It's 150 cedis.
Oh, that's
so I want to believe
fair.
everybody
can afford it.
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, parents, you need to get this for your children. And you said you'll be setting up a book club as well.
Yes, we will send that information out once it's ready.
Okay. Thank you and congratulations and all the best with your launch tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
So this is Sage Scott Arthur, aka Cuckoo the Fixer, and then Cuckoo's mother, your Na Scott Arthur. Thank you for coming and shout outs to Daddy and your teacher. What's your teacher's name again? Miss Asante. Okay, and all your schoolmates. Okay, give me 5. Good. All right, thank you very much for watching the show. We will be back with the vetting of the Minister for the Interior designate in Parliament very shortly. We'll cross over there. But these are sights and scenes from Parliament. The appointment committee is sitting, and from the look of things, the vetting will begin any moment from now. But that is it for the show. I'll be back when the vetting is about to start. I am Serwaa Amihere. Thank you so much for a great week. We'll see you again for the show.